What is going on, everyone? Thank you for joining me here today. One moment while I make sure this is running correctly. Let me make sure the sound's working. If you are watching this right now, though, I do appreciate you. It looks good. All right, we're good. Yeah, if you're watching this right now, man, I really do appreciate you for watching. If you're in the live, which I can't tell if anyone is. Yeah, I don't think anyone is yet. Oh, yeah, we do have four people in here. If you're watching on the live right now, man, I appreciate you so much. It means a lot. If you're watching this after it's been posted, thank you as well. We've got a few different topics we're going to run through today. So we'll go ahead and kind of get into those. And then as more people start to join towards the midway point of the stream, we will get into some other stuff. And we already got Kali in here. What's going on, man? Uh, I'm doing pretty well, man. How you been? I'm excited. We've got some good topics to talk about today. All NBA related, all NBA related. So I'm excited. Um, so yeah, so we're gonna go through each topic, and you guys can throw some stuff in the chat if you want, and I'll kind of respond to them. And then once we finish going through all these, then we will talk about just whatever. So, thank you for joining though, Kali. It's nice to see you again. But yeah, let's go ahead. We'll start off by just kind of going through what we're gonna be talking about. So we've got LeBron James talk. Sounds like he will not be returning to the Lakers. We'll talk about that here in a second, where his future may lie. We've got Kawhi Leonard trade. We'll talk about that. Go through the trade details. Anthony Davis, some news about him. And then obviously we'll get into the Detroit Pistons news as well, where we're going to talk about Duncan Robinson, Jalen Duren. And then I also have a bit of a Pistons mock roster I want to go through with you guys and see what your guys' opinions are. Um, so yeah, I'm excited. We'll go ahead. We'll get started. And yeah, like I said, feel free to throw anything down in that chat, man. If y'all got anything you want to talk about throughout this entire thing, or any of your thoughts on anything that I talk about, hit me with it. All right, we're gonna go ahead. Let's get into it. We're gonna start with the LeBron James news, which, from the sounds of it, I don't have the details pulled up on me right now, but from the sound of it, it sounds like for sure he's not returning to the Lakers. The Lakers did give him like basically a farewell. But there's a couple teams in the running for him, and it sounds like as of right now, the main like two teams are down to the Golden State Warriors and the Cavaliers. And honestly, either of those teams would be interesting to see because I think he'd be a very good fit for the Cavs because they really need that small forward spot filled in. So that would be interesting to see. But for the Warriors as well, it would be kind of cool. Although they already do have Axel Lendenberg, but I mean, you probably want your rookie coming off the bench anyway. Um, so yeah, those are the two teams that I think he'll probably go with. He did announce earlier that he is not really interested, or not interested. It sounds like he's not really like, um, he doesn't really have like a plan on when he's gonna sign. He said he's got all summer, so he's probably gonna wait. But more than likely, we will wait and see what happens with him. It'll be interesting to see. So, um, we're gonna go through the Kawhi Leonard trade real quick. This was a bit of an interesting one. So Toronto is getting Kawhi Leonard back, which I'm very excited about because that Toronto Raptors run back in what was it, like 2019? That was one of my favorite playoff runs that I got to watch, and yeah, that was a fun season. So it's an interesting trade. So you have the Los Angeles Clippers will be getting Brandon Ingram, Grady Dick, two first round picks, one pick swap, and then two second round picks. And then the Toronto Raptors will just be getting Kawhi Leonard. So let me respond to my boy Kali real quick. He said, "My question is, if Braun does not return to the Lakers, we'll have Sabrani." Ooh, good question. I didn't even think about that. Honestly, that is a really good question. I feel like more than likely, I mean, you would expect Bronny to play on whatever team LeBron's on, right? Like obviously that's like the whole like thing. The NBA has to have it where like both of them are on the same team. But yeah, that's a good question. Honestly, I would think that Bronny would probably just they'd probably just trade him wherever he goes. But that's a good question. I wonder if he'll maybe he stays in the Lakers though. I could see that too, but I don't know. It's an interesting question. But yeah, looking at this trade, I think the Raptors are making a good move here. Now, when you look at the Raptors roster, it's a bit of a weird roster. Like you have like Scotty Barnes, you just got rid of Brandon Ingram, I guess, but you have a couple of players that you really um, probably need to upgrade. I guess positions need to upgrade at, right? Like Emmanuel Quickly's solid, but to me, he's more of a bench player. RJ Barrett's nice. And then their center spot is kind of weak. I don't really love their center. Like if they had a better center, I think they could probably have made a better push in the playoffs because I mean they took the Cavs to Game 7. So, um, but yeah, definitely a good trade. I like the move from the Raptors. They're going all defense, and I think Kawhi Leonard will be a bit of an upgrade from Brandon Ingram. So and Grady Dick was just never he was never anything like special for the Raptors. He never really did much. Definitely a bit of a disappointing pick, but for the Raptors, I definitely like this decision, and for the Clippers too. I mean, they have an interesting young looking roster, and I think getting rid of Kawhi is definitely probably a smart move because they already are paying so many older vets anyway. And honestly, I don't think Kawhi was ever going to do much in it. I mean, he was carrying them this year though. He was going crazy, but I think the Raptors really made a good move here. And Kali also said Raptors got a steal with the Kawhi trade. I agree. I think that they got what they wanted. They got their defense and a guy who can get a bucket at any given moment. And you pair him up with Scotty Barnes, you're looking at a pretty good roster. I think they're one solid center away from probably making a better playoff push this year. Because last year's playoff push was good, but it wasn't anything special, right? So, um, because I mean they did go to Game 7 against a team that went to the conference final, but I really do think the Raptors could be a problem this year if they go out and get someone. Marcus Newsom, what's good, man? Good to see you back. Bronny only costs about 2.3 million. He'll be in Golden State with that. Yeah, yeah. That's kind of what I'm thinking. There's more than likely he's going to be going with his daddy. So yeah, I think Kali agrees. I think I think that whole situation's funny. Like I don't know if you guys remember like the draft where Bronny was coming out and like there was basically like a do not draft him, otherwise he will not go. They're like, I don't get how that works. Like if the Pistons want to draft him at like pick 30 or something, why can't we? Like that to me is the stupidest thing. Like I get it, like LeBron's like basically the manager of the league, but like come on, like that to me is so like really. Um, but yeah, a bit of a interesting trade here. I like this honestly for both sides. I think that the Clippers need to just kind of go back into rebuild mode. They've tried doing the whole thing where they just signed a bunch of vets, but they've got Keaton Wagler in the draft this year. You're adding Ingram, who's a nice vet, and they've got a couple of decent players over there. Darius Garland's okay. I think they have Bradley Beal too, which I mean Bradley Beal is pretty bad, but yeah. So bit of an interesting trade there. Some Anthony Davis news. We'll move on from that. But yeah, y'all keep putting stuff in the chat, whatever your guys' thoughts are. But Anthony Davis, he is it sounds like there was a lot of rumor that he was going to get traded to the Golden State Warriors. And from what the Washington Wizards said, who, they do have full control over him right now, it sounds like they will not. I think they took his name off the trade block. So I think they were kind of exploring their options. And I think they're doing, first of all, I want to say the Wizards are doing the right thing. I mean, I get AD is not a very healthy, reliable guy, but when he is healthy, one of the better defenders in the league and a very good scorer as well. And I've been saying for a while now that this Wizards team is going to be very good next year if Anthony Davis is on that roster. Because you got him, Trey Young, AJ Diabanta, Kaishan George, Alex Sarr, and then a couple other solid like young players. That would be a really fun team to watch next year. So I hope that they keep him, and it sounds like they will. That's what they've been saying is that Anthony Davis is probably going to be staying in Washington, but I wouldn't say it's off the table for him getting traded. I just think that more than likely it's it's basically set in stone that he's probably going to be staying in Washington. So, but yeah, let me know your guys' thoughts on that. If you guys think AD staying in Washington's a good move, I think it is. I think Washington's going to have a nice team next year if they can stay healthy. That's going to be the number one thing. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about that. Moving on to our next section, we've got a little bit of Duncan Robinson rumors. So again, this is just a rumor, so don't freak out too much. But there is a very good possibility the Detroit Pistons do trade Duncan Robinson. From the sounds of it, it is looking like they're looking at a trade package where Duncan Robinson is included. I can try and find the post real quick to see who the source is on this, but I don't know if it was Chris Haynes or not. But from what I read earlier, it from a very reliable source, they didn't say for sure that they're exploring trade. I think they just said that they're exploring trade options. So I don't know what you guys think about that. For me personally, I really like Duncan Robinson. I liked what he did this year. I didn't think he was great, but I thought he did his role. You know what I mean? Like I think he came in and he was a solid shooter for us. He was able to put up points for us. He wasn't phenomenal every game. And that's the thing is he's not a great defender, not a good rebounder, but like he's a good passer and he's a good shooter. So he can't really create for himself very well. He can drive to the rim here and there, but he's not the best at it. Marcus Newsom said Kawhi won't play more than 45 games in the season again. No disrespect, but Kawhi is a prime example of what's wrong with the league. Doesn't it seem odd that he was healthy during a contract year? Yeah, you're definitely not wrong. I've been seeing that so much too. I think that is like you kind of said what is wrong with the league right now is like you could go pay 100, 200, $300 to go to a game to go watch your favorite player and then they could just be sitting out because they're too lazy. They don't want to get injured. It's like it used to be in the NBA where the standard was you play all 82 games, right? So and look, I'm not like gonna sit here and say like, oh, a player can't take a couple rest games. Like at the end of the season, let's say you've already clinched that one seed, right? You don't have to play all your starters. I get that, but in the same sense, I don't like how you have people, yeah, like Kawhi. I agree. He probably won't play more than 45 games, but if he's available for the playoffs, I think the Raptors could be a dangerous playoff team. But anyway, looking back at the Duncan Robinson news, um, it's not for sure. It's not like anything to freak out about. Now, if you want Duncan Robinson gone, then maybe there's something there. But I personally would like to keep him. I don't want him to really start necessarily. I would like him to come off the bench, but we are paying him 15 mil, so it's likely that he would not come off the bench to begin with. So Marcus Newsom said Jordan never heard of load management. Yeah, that is very true. That is very true. You're not wrong. Kali said Coach Pop started the whole load management thing with Kawhi. Kawhi said he would only go to Toronto or San Antonio. Spurs would pretty much lock up a chip next year if they pulled that off. Yeah, I said honestly, Kawhi is what the Spurs are missing too, because Kawhi is like a 3/4 hybrid. Like he can play the four, but he's more of a three, I think. And to me, the Spurs really don't have a good four, right? Like they have Wemby, and then outside of that, they basically just have a bunch of guards. But yeah, I think I definitely agree that if Kawhi would have gone to San Antonio, that would have been terrifying. Like him and Wemby, plus you add in Stephon Castle, and also we could that De'Aaron Fox stuff. I definitely think De'Aaron Fox is probably going to be out of San Antonio, which I mean he was really good for them this year, but then at the same time he was terrible in the playoffs. So, but yeah, we got 18 people in here right now. What's going on, guys? Throw some down in chat. Say what up. Say what you guys are thinking. We're kind of just running through a few topics, so if you see something that catches your eye, and also make sure to hit that like button. It would mean a lot to me. And if you feel like it, hit that subscribe button. We are very close to 1,000 subscribers. So, but we'll keep going here. But yeah, that's basically what I've heard about the Duncan Robinson situation. So let me know what you guys think. Do you guys want Duncan Robinson on the team next year, or would you rather see us maybe go for an upgrade? We'll see. We have a lot of more Jalen Duren news, which I'm excited to talk about. So obviously the last couple days, the last week, whatever, it has been very, very so much new information coming out. And it sounds like Jalen Duren has been kind of a dickhead lately. It sounds like he's still kind of being a dickhead, but he apparently wants to be traded to Boston, which I don't know what you guys think about trading him for Jaylen Brown. I wouldn't love it because if we're gonna trade Jalen Duren, we need to get a center out of it. So I really do not like that idea at all. But the Pistons did come out and say earlier today. They said, see, I don't see if I can find it. They said something along the lines of, I can't find it, but they said something along the lines of basically that their whole priority this offseason is to retain Jalen Duren. They're basically saying that whatever he asks for, they're gonna give him. It's just what's gonna happen. So Marcus Newsom said, "We need to keep Duncan. Duncan and Joe make us different. Two elite snipers on the same team. Top 10 or better 3-point shooting team." Yeah, I 100% agree. Duncan is a sniper. That's what he's known for. Now, I will say this. I almost would rather have Duncan come off the bench. To me, he's more of a bench player because of his defensive liability. So if you have, I mean, I would be fine with Isaiah Joe starting. I think you could start him. But both of them are kind of like borderline bench players. So yeah, I don't disagree though. I think when you look at Duncan Robinson, it really comes down to what it really comes down to if you want to start him or not. But yeah, I do not want to get rid of Duncan. We need that shooting and experience. Cully said, "Not gonna happen. He's not going nowhere." I don't know if you're talking about Duren or Duncan, but either way, I agree because I do not see Duncan or Duren going anywhere. I think Duren for sure. So I was just gonna say, Jalen Duren to me, like I talked about it last night, obviously, and I said that I am like 40% sure that he might be gone. Like I cannot say with confidence that he'll be staying. Now I can tell you I'm about 95% sure he's staying in Detroit. Like I do not see him leaving. Any offer that he gets from the Lakers, from Celtics, whoever, we're gonna match them. We're gonna give him his 45 million, whatever. So Darren ain't going nowhere. I don't think Duncan's going anywhere, to be honest. But you never know. You really don't ever know. So interesting to see, though. I think interesting to see really what will. Oh, thank you. Let me read that real quick. Thank you, Carrie, for the sub. I do appreciate that, man. But yeah, I do not think that Jalen Duren is going anywhere for sure. Duncan, doubt it. But yeah. So before we get into my Pistons mock roster for this coming season, if you guys want to talk about anything else, feel free to throw something down in the chat real quick. We talked about LeBron stuff going on. Big rumor of him going to the Warriors. We talked about the Kawhi trade, the Anthony Davis stuff, Duncan Robinson rumors, and the Jalen Duren rumors. So if you guys want to talk about any of that before I get into this mock roster, I have three different mock rosters, basically just the starting five. So and they're not, and for these mock rosters, they're not really exactly like what I would say what I want. One of them I definitely do want, and I think you guys probably will too. But the other two are kind of just like ones that I've heard from rumors and just ideas. So, Camel Cursat, hi everyone, it's 5:19 a.m. here, and I'm still waiting on some news. Holy, 5:19 a.m. So you gotta be in like, you're somewhere in Europe. You gotta be, right? I don't know. I can't really. Let me know where you're from. One of my buddies is in Denmark right now, and it's like 4 a.m. there. So, it's got to be around there. But that's interesting, man. Hey, thanks for throwing some in the chat. But yeah, we'll go ahead and get in these mock rosters if no one else has anything they want to add from the other stuff we were talking about. So let's go ahead and jump into it. So we're gonna start with the first. Oh, hold on. Oh, you're from Turkey? Oh my goodness. I forget. I'm assuming if you're from Turkey that you're a big World Cup fan. Did Turkey make it to the round of 60 or sorry, round of 32? Let me know. Let me know. I can't remember if they did or not. Oh yeah, wait, Turkey beat. No, I don't think they did, but Turkey beat Team USA, didn't they? I remember that. I think I watched that game too. And they like beat them right at the end. But all right, without further, thank you for the chat though. But without further ado, let's go ahead. Let's jump into the first Pistons mock roster. This is again just from rumors and from just ideas. So we'll get into it. So this is the first roster. Sorry, the images aren't really like too even, but you can see you've got Cade Cunningham. Obviously, he's not going nowhere. Sar Thompson not going anywhere. And like I said, I think that Jalen Duren is for sure staying. So I added in. It sounds like we might be getting rid of Tobias Harris. I talked about that yesterday. It sounds like he might not be re-signing. So John Collins is going to be my number one option. My number one option for the power forward position. I would really love to see us go. If we're going to go after a free agent, I would love John Collins. And then Norman Powell, obviously, too. Here's the thing. He's going to be a little more expensive. He was an all-star this year. So he'll be a little more expensive, but he would be an absolute bucket. Yeah, so P. Jones said, I like John Collins, but not with adding Powell. That's fair. That's fair. I think I would you rather keep Duncan Robinson maybe or Isaiah Joe as the starting two, P. Jones? Let me know. And Marcus Newsom also said Holland, Asar, Duran, Cade, Sasser, Jenkins are all 25 or younger. Most players have the best season stat wise until they're like 27 to 33. Our roster hasn't reached its prime yet. Duran will be better. I definitely agree. Duran's going to improve so much. He's going to improve so much. Definitely agree. Um, but yeah, Kimmel said Turkey was eliminated in the group stages. We beat USA in the final. Yeah, unfortunately, we failed to do. Yeah, damn man. That was a fun run though. I remember watching them against Team USA. That was pretty heartbreaking as a Team USA fan. But yeah, and you also said, can Trey Murphy play power forward? Yeah, I've talked about that. I think he can. He can play the 2, 3, or the 4. I really like. That's an. You know what? That reminds me, man. I really should have added Trey Murphy to one of these. Now that I think about it, so um, Trey Murphy is one of my top options as well. And yes, he can. He technically can play the power forward spot. Um, P. Jones said, I want team 3 for our shooting guard. That's fair. That's a good point. And then you also said, no, Duncan is gone due to Herder being a better defender and overall offensive player. And we also added Joe. Yeah, I think after re signing Kevin Herder, that we might be starting Isaiah Joe. And I think that means that you would have Herder probably come off the bench, right? So yeah, I don't disagree with that. That wouldn't be terrible. And we have Javante Green in there as well, right? I think he's still with us. Cully said, not sure we could sign both Powell and Collins. Well, here's what I'm thinking, right? If you do let go of Tobias Harris, you've already let go of Isaiah Stewart, and let's say you trade Karras, get rid of that contract, maybe trade Sasser, Ron. I think you'd free up enough space to get them both, but I don't disagree. I was just saying for like my dream two that we could go get would be both these two. I don't think John Collins will cost too much, um, but Norman Powell is definitely going to cost quite a bit. He's going to cost like I don't really know. I don't really know if anyone has any idea. Let me know. But yeah. Let's see. We got a few. P. Jones said I would love TM3. Yeah. Honestly, again, I think it's a good option. And honestly would probably fit us very well. Uh, he would fit us. Trey Murphy would literally probably take this team and improve them by a long shot. So I definitely agree. Um, and then where was I? Can we sign Collins with our? Yeah, Kim, I think that we can. It really just depends. It depends on what Duran's contract looks like. It depends on what else we go after in free agency. Um, Collins will get more than 15 mil. Yeah, yeah, Collie, I definitely agree. I think he'll probably get close to 20, but maybe 25. Somewhere in there. P. Jones said nope, Green is gone too, really. Is he a free agent or do you think we're gonna trade do you think we're gonna trade Javante Green? I really want to keep Javante Green because he's a great defender and he was a very good shooter for us off the bench this year, and he barely played. So I'd love to keep. I'd love to keep Javante Green. Kamal said, "How much, for example?" Yeah, I would say more than likely for John Collins, he's gonna cost you anywhere from 20 to 25 mil. Now that's just me guessing. So yeah, I'm not 100% sure though. P. Jones said the Pistons have plenty of options, and Collins would probably be less than 10 or equal to 10 a year. I don't know though. I don't know P. Jones because if you how much someone tell me here. I'm gonna look up right now, just that way no one has to tell me. I'm gonna look up um what is John Collins making right now? Because if it's over 15 mil, it's on a 5-year, $125 million contract. So that's what 25 mil a year. Yeah, so it's about 25 mil. Now, I don't know if he's worth that right now. So he just completed that contract. I don't think he's probably worth as much right now. So you'd probably be able to get him for 15 to 20. I'd say 15 to 20. Somewhere in between there. But yeah. And P. Jones said the Pistons have plenty of options, and Collins would probably be less than. Oh, I already read that. Collie said several teams are eyeing Collins, including the Clippers, to re-sign him. Yeah, that's true. I really hope the Pistons go after him though. At least make an offer, right? I think that'd be good. Troy, what's good, man? Good to see you back in here. What's going on, man? Let me know. Let me know your thoughts on this mock roster. You think it would be too expensive, more than likely, unless we gave up a few players. That's what most people are kind of saying. And again, these mock rosters are just kind of stuff I threw together that I seen from rumors, stuff like that. Damn, we got 30 people in here. What's going on, everyone? Throw something down in that chat. Say what up. But yeah, nice to see you again, Troy. And then P. Jones said, yes, Green's contract is done and Collins' value isn't as high as you think. Yeah, I think you're right. I think you're right. John Collins didn't really have a great year this past year, so I don't disagree there. Now, Norman Powell, he's probably going to cost you a lot more. Um, but yeah, I do have more mock rosters, by the way. I got two more to show you guys, so we'll get into that here in a sec. But yeah, if anyone's in here, man, I appreciate you watching. Make sure to hit that like button. And if you feel like it, hit that subscribe button. We're on our road to 1,000 subscribers. Marcus Newsom said we should sign Fred VanVleet and Roy Hachimura without giving away picks or players. Combined, they're about 40 million. VanVleet is very reliable, battle-tested point guard, yeah. And Roy is a cheaper, better Tobias. Yeah, honestly, Roy Hachimura would probably be a really good option. I actually, you know what? Let's go ahead. Let's move into the next roster, and we'll come back to this. But you can see right here. How about that? How about that, Marcus? We got Roy Hachimura right there. And for this roster, excuse me, for this roster, I'm kind of just keeping it the way it was, right? Like we basically just keeping all the same players we have on the starting five, except Tobias Harris gone, Roy Hachimura in, and then I also think maybe, like you said, maybe you go get a Fred VanVleet who could maybe run the starting two or just run the backup one or two. So let me know what you guys think about this roster. This is another heavily rumored one where we keep Duncan, we do not trade him, and also sign Roy Hachimura. And what else we got in here? We got P. Jones said, yeah, I would take Roy over Collins, but Roy costs more than Collins. Yeah, honestly, I would be fine with either. I really like John Collins. He's one of my. I've been wanting him for a couple years. But yeah, I'm him. What is good, man? Good to see you back in here. You're good, man. We'll recap on everything we talked about right now. We are just talking about a couple of things Detroit Pistons related, and then we're gonna go back and talk about the NBA as a whole. So we'll get back into that though in a minute. Where we talked about the Anthony Davis, LeBron stuff, so we'll get back into that. P. Jones said I don't want Duncan starting. Yeah, that's fair. I honestly, P. Jones, 100% agree. I honestly would rather have him coming off the bench if he were to remain on this team. So yeah, I don't disagree with you at all. I think that in terms of Duncan Robinson, I would rather have him coming off the bench. So um, I'm him said, all right, let's talk about the yeah, I got you, man. I got another maybe I have one more roster to go through and then I'll get back into the LeBron shit. So we'll go back through that. Kali said, I think Detroit is trying to make a trade for a starting shooting guard like Hero or Trey Murphy and sign someone like Collins or Roy. That's kind of where I'm at too, Kali. I think Hero was a heavily rumored guy. Now it's not really sounding like we're gonna get him. Um, but I think he would cost a lot too. But Trey Murphy, I am 100% down for Trey Murphy. He's probably my top three option we could go get trade wise. And then so yeah, I think signing Collins or Roy Hachimura would probably be very likely as well. Damn, we got 39 people in here, guys. What's going on? Make sure to hit that like button, and if you feel like it, subscribe, because we are on our road to 1,000 subscribers. It would mean a lot to me. But let's go ahead. Let's get into the final Pistons mock roster. This one, I have a little bit more of an issue with. Again, these aren't really rosters that I'm wanting. They're just rosters that I kind of put together from rumors and just ideas. So I want to see what you guys think about this one. This one's going to be a little much. Before we do it, P. Jones said, I know I'm asking for too much, but I would love to grab Trey Murphy and start, and Anthony Simons to anchor the bench scoring. That'd be an interesting, yeah, Simons is a pretty good bench guy. If we have space, add Roy or Collins. Yeah, I mean, obviously, like you said, asking for a lot, but whatever. You know what I mean? That's a really good offering right there, I would say. But let's go ahead. Let's get in this last roster. Let me know what you guys think about this one. This one's going to be a little more interesting. So very unlikely this happens, but obviously, here we go. All right, we got Cade Cunningham, Isaiah Joe, Asar Thompson, Lauri Markkanen, and Jalen Duren. Now, what are the chances that we have Jalen Duren and Lauri Markkanen on this team? Very low. But what would you guys think about if we went out and traded with Utah Jazz? Maybe not even if we got Lauri. What if we went and got a different player from the Jazz, like a big or something like that? But what would you guys think? Oh yeah, I'm him. Don't worry. We talked about the Kawhi trade as well. We'll get into that. Don't worry, man. I got you. P. Jones said, I love it. Troy said, yeah, sign me up. All right. We got some love in here. Bet. Yeah, I kind of just threw this one together for funsies. I think Isaiah Joe starting would be pretty sick. I think giving him the chance would be a very good, damn, we got 50 people in here, guys. What is up? That's a finals team. 100% agree. So let's go just run through this roster real quick, right? You got Cade Cunningham, MVP candidate, absolute dog, right? You got Isaiah Joe, absolute sharpshooter. Not a bad defender either. A bit of an upgrade from Tobias, I would say. Or sorry, a bit of an upgrade from um um Duncan Robinson. And then you got Asar Thompson, we all know, best defender in the league. And then you add in Lauri Markkanen, who is literally a huge upgrade from Tobias Harris. He's like 6'10, 6'11, something like that. Correct me on that if I'm wrong. But an absolute sharpshooter who has averaged 25 a game and would be such a good fit for Cade because of how good of a shooter he is, good floor spacer. And then you have Jalen Duren, who is, Jalen Duren, right? Good lob threat, good rebounder. So this team right here, and then obviously you'd get rid of Duncan, Karras, Sasser maybe, but you'd have Kevin Herter off the bench. Honestly, you might keep one of those three I mentioned, but maybe you keep like Sasser. But then your bench is going to be, Abuko Okori, Danis Jenkins, maybe Ron Holland, unless you trade him. If we get Lauri Markkanen, we're probably trading Ron Holland, right? Um, Kali said we could get Markkanen right now. That's fire. Appreciate it. Camel said it looks like we won't acquire Laurie without giving a SAR to Utah. Yeah, you're definitely not wrong. Which if we were to give a SAR, then you have Ron Holland, but obviously I'd rather have a SAR over Ron. So if we could give up a couple first round picks, maybe Ron Holland, Sasser, and Karras, maybe I'd do that. Um, but yeah. What else we got? BKN. What do you think about MPJ? Ooh, that's interesting. With 2027 and 2028 second for Duncan Robinson, Karis LeVert, Chaz Lanier in 2030. Lottery protected first. Yes. I would love Michael. We've been talking about Michael Porter Jr. since the trade deadline earlier this year, which by the way, we should have made a move for him when we could have. Could you imagine if we had MPJ on that on that playoff run? Like, come on now. Why did we like? That's what I will always disagree with Trajan Langdon on was not making a move right for the deadline. Yeah, that would be a sick move. I don't know if it'll happen, but if we were to offer that, I could definitely see the Nets are in full rebuild right now, so they're looking to clear any contracts they can. That would be sick. And then Kali corrected me. He said Markkanen is 7-1. Holy shit! All right, bet. Yeah. So it sounds like everyone's pretty into this roster, which I appreciate, guys. I kind of just threw this one together as a dream lineup. And then Troy also said that he wants MPJ on the Pistons. Yeah. I don't disagree with that. So those are the three rosters. We'll go back through them real quick, and then I'm him. We'll get into those other NBA stuff. Don't worry, I got you. But yeah, so we'll run back through this one. This one it kind of sounds like too expensive. You guys kind of said a little too expensive, which I don't disagree. But obviously, if you trade Duncan, Karras, you'd free up probably 30 million right there to go get Norman Powell, and then John Collins cost you maybe 15, 20. And then you've got really just the same lineup, but you add in Roy Hachimura over Tobias, which I think would be just a little bit of an upgrade. And then we have this roster as well. Let me know what your guys' favorite roster is out of those three. Let me know what you guys think about those three rosters. Which one would you love the most? Obviously, I'd probably pick this one. I think this is an NBA Finals winning roster right here with Lauri Markkanen and Isaiah Joe starting. So, Kamal said Dean Wade to the Sixers did that? I didn't see that yet. Did that just happen, or did I miss the Dean Wade to the Sixers for? Yeah, that's a pretty 10 mil a year. I guess that's not a terrible contract for Dean Wade. P. Jones said, "Yeah, I'm not sold on Norman. Doesn't fit the timeline to me." Yeah, I looked at his stats, P. Jones, and as good of a player he is scoring wise, he's not the honestly like three shooting wise. Isaiah Joe beats him. Like he's only like a 38% three shooter this past season. Norman Powell was, whereas Isaiah Joe I think was like 43%. So yeah, I don't disagree. I'm him said somebody better than John Collins and the team is perfect. Yeah, well. I don't really to me John Collins would be basically your Tobias Harris replacement. Like I think John Collins is a little bit better than Tobias Harris because he can play defense just a tiny bit better, and shooting wise is probably decently similar, but probably not as good as Tobias. But yeah, I mean if we can retain Tobias, that's fine with me. But from the sounds of it, we might be letting go of his contract. Um, but yeah, I definitely agree. I think if you go I'm him, would you say that Roy Hachimura would be a better power forward than um better starting four than what Tobias or John Collins would be. Let me know what you think. But we'll go ahead. We're gonna recap some stuff. Get kind of back into some of the other stuff we talked about. Kamal said John Collins can shoot and can be a good partner, PNR partner for Cade. Yeah, that's the thing is he's an athletic freak too. That's why I really like John Collins. He is a athletic freak. So I would really like to see John Collins. I wouldn't mind that at least. Um, Did you see our group for the NBA Cup or winning our group for sure? I did not, Troy. Let me know what it is. I did not see it. I must have missed it unless it just came out. Um, Throw that down in the chat and I'll give my thoughts on that. On him said, yeah, I think Roy is better than both. He can space the floor and stuff. Yeah, I think after how well he performed, especially in the playoffs, I think Hachimura would be probably one of the best fits for the Pistons. Ooh, Gary Williams. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. PJ Washington. There was a bit of a rumor going around earlier that the Pistons might be making a move for PJ Washington. Let me see if I can find the post. But yeah, thank you for throwing that. Oh, group reveal. Yeah, we just got a group reveal. Oh my goodness, that is the easiest group I've ever seen in my life. Yeah, no, you weren't wrong about that. We'll get to that in a second though. Um, Let me look. Uh, where were we? Oh, PJ Washington. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Sorry. I swear there was something I saw about PJ Washington earlier. Yeah, so it sounds like the Mavericks have emerged as a leading suitor to acquire Detroit's Marcus Sasser in a trade. And oh man, I can't find the post now, but I saw something earlier. There was a big rumor going around that we might make a move for PJ Washington, and I would really like that, Gary. I would really like PJ Washington. I think that would be a solid four to have. I don't know if he'd be better than Roy Hachimura, but man, I would not mind him on this team. He's a good player. Kali said your thoughts on bringing Luke back, Luke Kennard, who led the NBA in 3-point shooting last year at 53%. Holy shit. Honestly, I'm not against that. I'm not against that. I think if you bring back Luke Kennard, though, you're getting rid of Duncan, right? You're going to get rid of Duncan and probably Karras. Um, but yeah, no, I would not mind bringing back Kennard. Kali, I think that'd be smart. Kamal said Orlando eliminated almost. They almost eliminated us last year, and also Kawhi will be our rival, so not happening. Yeah, I mean, I think out of that group, to be honest, we should be able to win that. I mean, Brooklyn, no threat. Bucks are going to be no threat. The Raptors will be okay, and I think the Magic, if they're healthy, will be good. But to be honest, we should win that group pretty easily. Um, what else we got? Damn, you guys are. Where were we? He signed with the Suns. Oh, did Luke Kennard sign with the Suns? I didn't see that. 2 years, 13 mil. Wow, what a deal for one of the best three shooters. P. Jones said Karras Sasser for PJ. Hell yeah, absolutely. I would love that. Troy said Kamu, we're the best team in our group. If not, who's better than us? Yeah, I agree with you, Troy. I think we're the best team. I think the Magic could give us a little bit of trouble, but I don't really see that happening. I think that we would probably win that group, and maybe be able to win a cup. That'd be pretty sick. I would jump. Kali said I would jump at that deal for PJ Washington. Absolutely. Kind of like what P Jones just said. I think giving up Sasser and Karras for PJ Washington. Absolutely. Gemini, what's good, bro? He said Luke just signed with the Suns. Yeah, I didn't see that actually. I must have missed that. Wake up, what's good, man? He said PJ Washington's contract sucks. Yeah, that's true. Maybe I mean you could maybe rework it, maybe like I don't know, but his contract is a little much for what he's worth. He said 4 years, 89 mil for Washington. No thanks. What would be your thoughts if we were to like rework that down to like a 3 year um what is that right now? It's like 22 a year. If we were to work that down to like a 3 year, $45 million deal, what would you think about that? Wake up. But but yeah. Oh, Kamal said they eliminated us from the NBA Cup. Yeah, they did. I forgot about that. But honestly, Kamal, if we are able to make some upgrades at some of these spots, and add any of these guys that we kind of talked about, I think that you're looking at more than likely. We should be able to win our cup next year. I think we're better than the Magic, and we struggled against them this year. But if we add some good shooters, which is what we were missing in these playoffs, if we add some good shooters, we'll be able to run that group. I'm not the Magic don't really scare me too much. We'll be fine. Um, Troy said, "Kamala disagree. I think Pistons are better than the Raps and Magic Man because we have a top three player in the league." Yeah, for sure, agree with that. Wake Up said you can't rework NBA contracts. Well, what I meant by rework was like, um, well, is how long does he have left of his contract? I thought he only had like a year left, so I was thinking you would, because he's not a free agent. I know that, but if he is um, if he's got a year left in his contract, you'd be able to just rework his contract once it's done. You know what I mean? But yeah, you're right. I know you can't just like rework it mid contract, but if you are able to free up space. But yeah, I mean, PJ Washington wouldn't be my top option, but I wouldn't mind that at all. He's a solid player. I wouldn't say would be a great starter, but if you go get like a good shooting guard, I think that'd be a perfect fit. But you could maybe he's under contract till 31. Oh shit. Okay, well, yeah, no, that's thank you, Alan Nelson, for the sub. I appreciate that. Um, under contract till you mean until he's 31 years old or until 2031? Because if it's 2031, then fuck. Kamal said Kate is good, but the rest of the roster is not that good. Yeah, that's why we got to make some upgrades. That's why we're looking at some roster renovations, right? 2031. Yeah, I didn't know that. I thought he was only under contract till like next year. So with that, I wouldn't. I mean, I still wouldn't mind PJ Washington. I just don't think that'd be my top option. But again, here's the thing. Wake Up is that if you were to trade Sasser and Karras, who have really no value on this team anymore, to go get a PJ Washington, you could have PJ Washington coming off the bench or starting for us, which I wouldn't mind. But yeah, Gary Williams said, shouldn't Cade be playing at the two? He can play the two, but Cade's mostly because of him being a really true point guard the way he's played. Um, Obviously, I know he's got a bit of a turnover issue, but he is at heart. I mean, like I said, he can play both. But if you were to go get like a Tyler Hero, you could have Tyler Hero playing the point guard, Cade at the two, but more than likely, Cade. You can throw Cade at the two though. But yeah, I mean, if you wanted to, Wake Up said until 2031, you'd be making 24 million that year. Yeah, that's. I don't know. I don't know about the PJ Washington contract. It really depends on what happens with just I think with Terrace and Sasser, because like I said, it sounds like Sasser is rumored to be getting traded to the Mavs, which if we were to trade him to the Mavs, I'm sure Karras would probably go along with him, maybe Duncan. Um, but yeah, so I wouldn't mind PJ. I wouldn't, but yeah, that contract isn't great for what he's worth. I don't disagree. So if you could somehow, and I guess you can't really rework it if he's got a contract till 2031. There's not much you can do there. So but I wouldn't mind paying him if it was like a 1 year thing. I wouldn't mind that. Kali said Levert and Sasser didn't do much for this team this year anyway and cost almost 20 mil a year. Get rid of them. 100% agree. I don't want to stay on this for too much long. We're going to come back to this later, but I want to get back into what we were talking about earlier because I know my boy I'm him is waiting in here. Hopefully he's still in here. We got 77 freaking people in here, by the way. If y'all are in here, man, first of all, thank you so much. This is awesome. This is fun right here. Throw something down in the chat. Let me know your guys' thoughts on anything. Hit that like button if you want to, and then also if you feel like it, hit that subscribe button. It would mean a lot to me because I am almost to 1,000 subscribers. So thank you guys for tuning in and listening to all this news. Let's go ahead though. Let's move back into some other news. We'll get back into the roster talking a little bit, maybe talk about some more scenarios. I want to talk about the LeBron James situation again real quick. I'm him said he's still here. What's good, bro? All right, now it's your time. I'm him. So we got LeBron James. He is officially gone. He's done as a Laker. What do we think about that? Is he officially Golden State Warrior or is he heading to the Cavaliers? I think those are the two options that I've heard. Um, I would love to see him on the Golden State Warriors. I think that'd be pretty cool alongside Curry. But yeah, so but yeah, I think LeBron is obviously near the end of his career. I think he could go another 5 years if he wanted to, but he'll only go another one or two more than likely. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what he does. I'm him said he's a Warrior. I don't disagree. It would be pretty shocking to me if he wasn't. But here's the thing: is the Cavs did free up a bunch of space with James Harden contract, and it sounds like they are pursuing LeBron. So I could see LeBron maybe wanting to reunite with Cleveland. for his final year. I could definitely see that. But yeah, Kali said he's going to Golden State Warriors to finally play with Steph and Draymond. Yeah, I could see it more than likely. And Bronny as well. Yep, I'm him. Said we have the most odds to get him. We have a 68% chance. It's higher than every other team. Yeah, it's looking very likely LeBron's heading to the Golden State Warriors. I would be surprised if he didn't. But I could definitely see the Cavs. The Cavs are a really good team. So Gary Williams said go to Golden State and create the diaper team. Yeah, all the old heads over there basically. Yeah, it'd be interesting though. But I think the Warriors would definitely have a contending roster if they add him. But then again, you're giving up Jimmy Butler, who's pretty good too, but he hasn't been healthy anyway. So, um, but yeah, so there's that. And like I said, we'll get back into that Pistons talk later, guys. I wanted to kind of just recap on a couple things. Um, we got the Kawhi trade to talk about, Anthony Davis stuff going on, and then we'll get back into some of the other stuff. But yeah, I think Golden State, if they are to get um LeBron James, I think that would definitely help them. It sounds like though. Let's move on to where is it? We're gonna talk about Anthony Davis. I'm him said I feel like if we get Davis, we are likely a finals team. Yeah. So if you didn't hear, it sounds like the Wizards took him off the trade block earlier today, which is interesting news because they were definitely looking at trading him. So first class Kings, what's going on, man? Thanks for the chat. You said I think he already said he's only playing one more season. Yeah, I think you're right. If he's only playing one more season, he's probably either going to go to Cleveland or he's going to go to Golden State. Those are my two guesses. There's talk of Braun going to Miami. Kali said, "Oh, I did hear that too. Miami is the other top option, so I could see it. I could see it. Um, yeah, I don't know. It really depends on what teams are looking at, right? If Norman Powell leaves Miami, which I think he will, then LeBron could definitely go there. But I think the Warriors are going to heavily pursue him. I really do. Um, but yeah, so there's Anthony Davis news that basically the Wizards took him off the trade block, which is pretty interesting. I think honestly for the Wizards, probably the better move to make. For the Warriors, kind of sucks because I think if he was on the team with LeBron and Steph, that would be a pretty insane team. So let me know what you think about that. I'm him. I would love to see AD on the Warriors, but I don't think it'll happen because it sounds like he's officially off the trade block. And then we also have the Kawhi trade, which went down a little earlier today. We kind of talked about this earlier as well. Pretty interesting trade in terms of what went down because Kawhi heading back to Toronto is that's pretty sweet. I like I said earlier, I loved that 2019, 2018, whatever it was, um, Toronto Raptors run. That was a very fun season, and I think him going back there is pretty interesting. But the thing is I don't love um, a couple of parts on that Raptors roster. I think they need to upgrade the center spot, and I think they need another guard or two. Because RJ Barrett and Emmanuel quickly are nice, but I wouldn't say those are two guys that are going to get you in the finals. You know what I mean? So on him said, but Davis and Tingus Pingus are like the same. It's just that Tingus Pingus is taller. Yeah, he's like what, like an inch or two taller. Um, yeah, I think if you were to trade AD for Tingus Pingus, that wouldn't be the worst. I just like I said, if the Wizards are serious, I honestly don't know if the Wizards are serious about the whole like taking him off the trade block thing, then I don't see him leaving. I honestly don't think he'll go anywhere else, but we'll see. I'm him also said the Kawhi trade wasn't good. The Clippers won that trade. I mean, you can look at it that way. I guess getting two first round picks and Brandon Ingram is pretty solid. Grady Dick really to me isn't much. I mean, maybe in a new setting he'll flourish more, but honestly, no. I think it was a pretty well trade. I think both teams got what they wanted. Kawhi to the Raptors. Now the thing with Kawhi is he's very injury prone. He's going to play like 40 games. Um, he's going to play like 40 games more than likely, and probably not um, probably not do too much, right? But if they do make the playoffs and he's healthy for the playoffs, that's where it's going to be on site. So Gary Williams said the center from the Knicks. I think you're talking about Nick Mitchell Robinson. I'm assuming. Can he start for Detroit? He could. I wouldn't say I'd want Mitchell Robinson starting for us, but I would definitely be interested in pursuing him for filling in maybe Beef Stew's role coming off the bench. That would be interesting. Justin Fett said we don't want street clothes. Yeah, that is very true. Are you talking about? Um, let me know what you. I'm assuming you're talking about. Yeah, let me know what you were talking about, Justin Fett. I can't tell if you were talking about the Kawhi trade or the Mitchell Robinson trade, but let me know. But yeah, I think looking at this trade, I think the Raptors got what they wanted. They got a really good defender, veteran presence who can definitely play a bit of offense as well. And then for the Clippers, I mean, really just trying to get rid of a contract, start rebuilding. Yeah, that's all they're really trying to do. So we'll see what happens there. And that's I think. Do we have anything else? I think we talked about AD, talked about Braun. I'm him sets the lineup would be Curry, Pods, Jimmy, LeBron, Tingus, Bingus. Yeah, I mean, not a terrible lineup. I don't love Pods. I think him coming off the bench is all right, but honestly, I don't know if I would like if I were a Warriors fan, I don't know if I would absolutely love Pods being a starting two unless he improves this year. Um, we all got it. Duran to the Lakers. Yeah, I could see it. We talked about that a little earlier. So it's from the First Class Things. Thank you for the sub, man. I appreciate you. Sorry I missed that. It just loaded in. But so looking at the whole Jalen Duran situation, hold on, let me check something real quick. Sorry, guys. Whoo, we got 10 subs in here. Man, if you guys hit that sub button, man, I appreciate y'all. Today has been a big day for me. Wow. We got 65 people in here. I appreciate y'all. If y'all are in here, man, like I said, hit that like button if you feel like it. And it would mean a lot to me if you do, but you don't have to. Hit that subscribe button. We are getting close to 1,000 subscribers. But during the Lakers, yeah. So from the sounds of it, we all got it. It sounds like there is a very heavy rumor. So from what the Pistons said, their number one goal this offseason is to retain Duran. That is their number one goal. So I don't know if that'll happen though, because it sounds like he does want more. But I think what we'll do is we'll probably just offer him whatever he wants. We'll give it to him, and yeah, I don't know. I think so. If he were to go to the Lakers, what would you want in return? That's my question for you. Would you want DeAndre Ayton and Roy Hachimura, which I think both of them are free agents, or at least I know Hachimura is. Maybe you could trade for someone else. Or maybe just get a bunch of picks and then use that to trade for someone else. I don't know. But let me know what you would want for Duran if we were to trade him for the Lakers. And I'm him. Let me know what you think about that starting five that you sent me. Because yeah, I think Jimmy, LeBron, and Curry would be a really good starting like your backcourt. Or sorry, that would be a really good part of your starting five. But DeAndre's not on the team no more. I thought I'll have to look. Let me do that real quick. I think he is still on the team, but he might be a free agent unless he did leave. DeAndre, I just spelled his name completely wrong. It still does say, from what I can tell, that he is on the Lakers. But he might be a free agent. So if someone wants to fact check me there, let me know. What else we got in here? We got Tenna J said Trajan should be fired. He's terrible. Yeah, I mean I wouldn't say go as far and say he needs to be fired just yet. I think that in terms of what he's doing right now though, depending on what he does to fill in these gaps that he's putting on this team, like getting rid of Beef Stew and this whole Duran talk, I wouldn't say he needs to get fired yet, but he has not impressed me. I'll just say that because his drafting's been very bad. And so far, I mean, the Isaiah Joe trade was very nice, but other than that, I don't know. Um, what else we got? Gary Williams said we need a first next year. I mean, honestly, yeah, I wouldn't, I wouldn't disagree, but I also would say that if we have a first round pick next year, it's going to be a really late first round pick, right? It's going to be like picked like 25 because if we are as good as what we were this year, we'll probably um, be a further back pick if we can make it to the conference finals, whatever. So yeah, I don't know. I think. I think that we would. Wait, where'd it go? I was just looking at it. Um, I wouldn't mind getting a first round pick though. That's for sure. Because I don't know if we have one next year. I'd have to look. Kali said Duran cannot just go to Sacramento. Um, if they cannot agree to contract, he will sign a qualifying offer, which means he stays in Detroit one more year and becomes an unrestricted free agent. Yeah, we basically control Duran from what it sounds like. Like if someone team matches, or let's say some team offers him 50 mil and we match him, then we get Duran. Like that's all it is we're just gonna match whatever they ask for. But I do not want to give 45 mil. I do not want to give over 45 mil to Duran. Sebastian, what's good, man? You said Lakers would give picks cap space. They have nothing. We want Roy free agent. We could just sign him. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. For Hachimura, I would love to just sign him. Like you don't have to trade for him because he's a free agent. Um, so if we were to trade the Lakers, they would just probably give us a couple first round picks and maybe. Um, and like I said, I'm not sure if Aiton's a free agent or not. I would take Aiton if we could get him, but I don't know if he's a free agent or not. I have to check. I'm him said I thought oh Kali said on the Lakers. I think you were talking about. Oh, you meant on the Lakers. I'm him said I thought Walker Kessler got traded for him. I didn't see that. Let me know. Let me know. I'm him. Let me know if you find out if that did happen because I'm not 100% sure. Um, Gary Williams said if Duran goes to the Kings, I think it would have to be a three-team trade. Yeah, I don't disagree. Now, if we were to send him to the Kings, I would love to not send him to the Kings. I want to keep him and have him on this team. But if if we were to get what was I saying? Where'd it go? I literally just lost my train of thought. If yeah, so I think if we were to trade him to the Kings, I would say that getting Domantas Sabonis would not be the end of the world because I do like Sabonis, but obviously I would rather just keep Duran. Uh, Kali said a team would have to offer Duran the max that they can give, which is 4 years, 177 mil. Then Detroit will just match it. That's it. That's all. Yep, 100% agree. Is Lions fan said is LeBron to the Pistons actually a possibility? So I talked about him earlier. So it sounds like from what I've heard, Lion fan is that him to the Pistons is very unlikely, but him to the either the Warriors, the Heat, or the Cavaliers are probably going to be the top three teams that will go for him. I doubt he'll go anywhere else, but no, I do not see him coming to the Pistons. More than likely, he said he was open to any team though, so he didn't leave us off the table. But I honestly probably wouldn't even want him anyway, because he's older, and I mean who knows if he'll play a full season. Kali said no. Justin Fest said no. Brown's not coming here. I bet my house on it. I'm him said when does free agency end? I think a few weeks. I know it lasts a few weeks. It might honestly go all the way to the regular season. I can honestly look it up in a second. If anyone else knows, let me know down there. But I'm not 100% sure when free agency ends. Lion fan said Norman Powell would be good Duncan Robinson replacement. In my opinion, yeah, we talked about that earlier. This is that mock roster I had earlier. One of the mock rosters. Norman Powell would be a great replacement. I wouldn't mind that at all. And obviously I threw John Collins in there too. But Norman Powell would be interesting. I just don't know if for sure we would be able to afford him. So it'll be interesting. Gary Williams said, at this point, don't we have to trade Duran? He wants to be gone regardless. Yeah, he's apparently asking to go to Boston. So anyone in here, let me know what you would think if we traded Jalen Duran for Jaylen Brown. What would you guys think about that? Because I personally would love to have Jaylen Brown, but I don't think that trading Duran would be smart because there goes your starting center, right? And also, I just don't see why we would want to trade for a shooting guard because we already got rid of Beef Stew, so we're gonna have no bigs. We're gonna have nothing. So, but I did hear he did want to go to the Celtics. He wants to be gone regardless. And obviously, also he has the meeting set up with the Kings and the Lakers as well. But yeah, he wants to be gone regardless of the money. Again, yeah, I mean he does. Even if he does, though, we can just match whatever offer, and if we pay him, I'm sure he wants to stay here. I doubt Duran really wants to leave. I just think he wants to get paid. Troy said we already said we're not letting Duran go. He's here to stay. Everything is just leverage on both sides. Definitely agree. I think Duran's here to stay. They made it their number one priority. They said this offseason to retain Duran. So I agree. And Kali said we don't have to trade him. Yeah, I doubt we will. Troy said that it's one of the only trades I'd like for Duren. Um, yeah, I would say for Duren, the only Jalen Brown would be sick to have because I mean you put two MVP candidates on the same team, that'd be pretty nice. And that would help out Cade a lot too. But I the thing is I don't know how we would what would we do for our center spot because you're already paying so much for Cade, Jalen Brown. You would not have much at the center spot. Lion fan said, "Does Boston have a center they can give us?" Not really. I think they have Wakic or whatever his name is, if I'm not mistaken. And I would not really want him on the Pistons to, like him replacing Duren would be kind of sad, but he's not very athletic. He's an okay shooter, but he's an all right rebounder. I wouldn't really want Wakic, but yeah, more than likely if we were to trade with Boston, it would probably be for Jalen Brown, but I doubt that will happen. If we're gonna trade Jalen Duren, I think it's gonna be the Kings or it's gonna be the Lakers. More than likely the Lakers, which sucks because they don't really have anyone I'd want to trade for, unless they want to give us Luka, right? But yeah, let me know what you guys think though about the Jalen Duren situation. Anything else y'all want to talk about in here? Let me know. Wait, isn't Draymond signing back with the Warriors today? And Google it says that. Yeah, I think I heard yesterday that he plans on. I think he declined his. What was it? I forget what it was, but he. It sounds like he's gonna resign. I think he was just trying to probably free up some cap space, and yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I think Draymond's staying though. I can't really see him leaving the Warriors. I just wouldn't make sense. So we'll see though. Um, he just signed back with him today. Okay. Yeah, that's good for the Warriors. I love I love Draymond, so interested to see what happens with the Warriors this year if they're able to continue to progress. If they can stay healthy, obviously. Kali said his agent is posturing for more money, but this behavior shows that Duren's real priorities are getting the bag is more important to him than winning a championship. He's choosing the Kings. Yeah. Yeah, I think seeing how Duren's acting with this whole money situation really does, like you said, Kali, show us where Duren's priorities are. We saw it in the playoffs. What did Duren do in the playoffs? He threw up a fucking dud. He was terrible. He averaged like 8 points a game, 8 rebounds a game, and he was literally getting benched for our third string center, B-ball Paul. Jalen Duren to me, as much as I love the dude, is not a I wouldn't put him as much of a dog as he is, not a true contending center. Like not a true contending center. He to me is just look. I mean, I get. Go get your money. Ask for the money. But at the end of the day, if you really care about winning, you're gonna go out and you're going to take whatever deal that the Pistons give you to stay with your team that drafted you and was the number one seed this past year. So yeah, um, that all NBA killed us is what Gary Williams said. Yeah, it did. It definitely did. If he wasn't an all NBA, he probably wouldn't be getting this kind of money. Same thing with the All Star thing, which yeah, I think he deserved to be an All Star. I think he deserved to be All NBA. But like, if he wouldn't have gotten that, we probably wouldn't be here right now, right? So, but the way he performed in the playoffs, man, if he would have performed better, like I would not be sitting here right now saying like bringing up trade rumors and stuff like that, right? So, um, Kali said, "Oh, on him said Cade is going to need more help if Duren leaves." Well, yeah, because I mean, I'm not saying Cade's a Duren merchant. Like he's not a Duren merchant, but Cade, half of Cade's assists go to Duren, right? Like he is passing and lobbing to Duren almost every time he's down the floor. So, yeah, getting rid of Duren would not help the Pistons at all. Kali said first team. Sorry. Oh, Lion fan 222. I missed it. I think he goes to the Lakers now that Brown is gone. Yeah, that's a big possibility. But again, it's up to the Pistons on whether or not they want to get rid of him, right? We basically own the rights to him. We can match any offer that team gives him. But if we were to do a sign and trade, yeah, Lakers, I think, very likely. Kali said first place team in the East, first worst place team in the West. Yeah, and that shows you right there. The fact that he's interviewing with the Sacramento Kings, who are literally like the worst team in the league, like go fuck yourself, Duren. Like really? Like he does not give a shit about winning. Obviously, he just wants money. Troy said players don't take discounts to the NBA guys. It's 2026. Yeah, there you go. Troy said it best. They do not care about winning anymore. It's all about the money, which is sad because I mean, what's the difference between 45 mil a year and like 50 or like 40 mil a year and 45 mil a year? It's like, are you ever gonna really spend like if Duran were to sign a 5-year, $40 million contract with us, that's $200 million. Are you really gonna spend $200 million in your life, Duran? I mean, maybe. I don't know what he's spending his money on, but like, really? I mean, I would know how to manage that much money, I think. Lion fan 222 said, or maybe we'll just change our offer and pay him the most. Yeah, I think that's what's most likely from what I've heard. We are going to probably just offer him. We're probably just gonna offer him whatever he wants. If he wants 50 mil, we'll probably fucking give it to him, which sucks because I do not want to pay that dude more than 40 mil. What else we got? Kali said Detroit will match any offer and keep Duran. 100% agree. I'm not really sure to say. I'll just say JRGETDA said, what happened to Clint Capella? What he didn't play with James Harden no more. He didn't make another All-Star team. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You're saying what happened with, yeah. That is true. That is true. He went and left James, and what happened? He became just a normal role player, and he wasn't anything special. And what do you think's gonna happen to Duran if he goes to fucking Sacramento? The dude will average 12 and 10 a game again. Like, yeah. Ethan, what's good, man? He said, yeah, it's going to be sad when the season going to get worse. 2026 is going to be like worse than 2024. Yeah, well, depending on what happens, right? Like, if we were to keep the roster we have now, if you were to keep Duran, obviously, I don't know if we'll re-sign Tobias, but if we do re-sign Tobias, if you were to keep just everyone we have right now, I think we could get back to a 2 or 3 seed again. I don't know if we'll get a 1 seed. Honestly, the East was really weak this year. We knew coming in the East was going to be weak with Tatum being gone, with Halliburton being gone, and we were able to we were able to over succeed because of that and become a 1 seed. But we earned it. Like, we won 60 games this year, but in the same sense, yeah. We'll see how this year goes. We need to make a couple moves though, that's for sure. Kali said it's great to have good NBA conversations. Hit that like button. I appreciate you, Kali. Yeah, if y'all are in here, man, we got 64 people in here. Make sure to hit that like button, and if you feel like it, hit that subscribe button. We're closing in on 1,000 subscribers, so I appreciate it. And I'm him said and subscribe. Love it, man. I appreciate y'all. Gary Williams said it's obvious he don't trust the GM. How do you bring him back? Yeah, that's kind of what I'm at too. Is like, as much as I want to keep and retain Duran, he obviously doesn't really want to be here. Like, he's making it obvious by taking all these calls and like asking, like, oh, I want to go to the Celtics, whatever. Like he's making it almost obvious that he doesn't really want to be here. So I don't love that. Lion Fan 222 said the problem with Duran, in my opinion, is he is such a high and low player. Like, Cade Cunningham is always consistent. Duran is not. Yeah, that's very true. And you saw that in the playoffs, right? Duran didn't do shit in the playoffs. So as much as I love Duran, I don't think unless he has a really good point guard on his team, he's not going to be a good player, right? 90% of his points, like, I seen someone on Woodward, I don't know if you guys follow Woodward Sports, they said earlier today that Cade Cunningham is a Jalen Duran merchant. If anything, Jalen Duran is a Cade Cunningham merchant. 90% of his points are generated from Cade Cunningham, so. We got a few chats. Let me look. James McMillan, what's up, man? You said anything on King's meeting with Duran? Yeah. So that happened today, I believe. I did not hear anything about it. So more than likely, nothing really happened. I think they were probably just kind of showing him like, hey, we'll give you 45 mil. And he's probably like, okay. But more than likely, Pistons will just match it. They'll keep Duran. So I didn't hear anything about it, though. Sebastian, what's good, man? You said people are upset, but let's be real. This team won 60 games, but got embarrassed when it mattered in the playoffs. I'm glad Trajan is changing some things up. Yeah, you're not wrong. I think he's right. I think he knows that we need shooting. That's why he went and got Isaiah Joe. I think that he knows that, as good as much as we love beef stew, and I still think that was a really stupid move, but I think he's looking at that contract and saying, you know what, B-Ball Paul outperformed him in the playoffs, so why not just play B-Ball Paul more, you know what I mean? So, what else we got? Um, Ethan said, "Do you think Detroit Pistons can get NBA Cup this year? 2026 Detroit Pistons is in Group A." Yeah, I just looked at that actually like 20 minutes ago. And yeah, I mean the Raptors and the Magic are the only two teams in there that'll give us a run for our money. And honestly, I don't think either will beat us. I think that if we get, or I think that for the NBA Cup, more than likely we should be able to win that group. I would assume we will. I can't say for certain we will, but I think the Magic would be the only team to really contend with us. Um, I'm him said Duran is not that good. Yeah, I always say that too. He's not a great shooter. He's not a great defender, but like at the same sense, he fits our team well because of his lob threat capabilities and his very good rebounding abilities. So Troy said Duran is a force. He's a force. Both sides are just trying to get the best deal. Let's not let this situation make us turn on our young homegrown all star. I agree. I don't want to think of Duran any differently, but at the same time, I think with this whole like money thing that he's doing, it really doesn't make it look good for him, because if we're to re-sign him, it's gonna feel like he doesn't even want to be here. I would assume he does want to be here though, because him and Kate are obviously buddies, and like I would assume he wants to stay here, but who knows? What else do we got? What else do we got? Sebastian said we need more size for rebounding and shooting. The center we drafted is 7 foot, and we got Isaiah Joe. It's a good start so far. Yeah, we need more size. Now the center we drafted, is he going to play a lot this year? I hope he gets some minutes because of how good at defending he is. I think he could replace Beef Stew pretty well. But yeah, then you go get Isaiah Joe, who I think could be an upgrade from Duncan maybe if we were to move on from Duncan. Kali said Kings can't do nothing for Duran. Yeah, I mean we'll just match whatever the Kings offer. Lion fan 222 said, "Can Sabonis play center for us if we trade him with the Kings?" Yes, that's the one thing if we were to trade Duran, I would want it to be for Sabonis because Sabonis is honestly, I would say, what not maybe not an upgrade from Duran, but there's better things he can do. He's not as good of a lob threat, and he's not. I don't think he's quite as good of a rebounder, or maybe he might be a little better. I don't know, but he can shoot a little bit better, obviously, and then he's a very good defender too. James said Sabonis is good. Who do you think is better, Sabonis or Duran? Yeah, so I kind of just said it, but I'll just say this. I think in terms of rebounding, they're both pretty equal. Offensively, if you want to look at shooting, you're going to go to Sabonis, right? But if you're going to go to down low in the paint, post moves, I'm going to go Duran. So it depends on what you want. Do you want a center that can shoot threes, space the floor a little bit better maybe, or do you want a lob threat down low who can, post up at any given moment? But the defense wise is where Sabonis does take Duran, I think, just by a little bit. So honestly, to me, I would say overall talent wise, Sabonis might have Duran, but you also want to look at this. Duran is only 22 years old. Sabonis is a little bit older. So I would say in that sense, probably I might want Duran over, but I don't know. That's a good question. I would say they're pretty even, but I would rather keep Duran just for that team chemistry and lob threat. Y2 Chris, what's up? There are other cheaper players around the league who can rim run. Yeah, you're not wrong actually. Definitely. I mean, paying Duran 45 mil compared to going to get someone that can cost you 25 mil, right? Like that would be definitely a money saver. So, but yeah, I don't disagree. I think you could find someone else, maybe trade for someone else, but yeah, I don't disagree. Gary Williams said Duran's a physical specimen, but lacks skill, very limited. Yeah, he is. He's a physical specimen. I mean, dude's 6'10", 6'11", and I mean, look at him. He's ripped. He's an athletic freak, but in the same sense, I don't know if he's playing to his full potential yet. He needs to develop like some shooting, and then he could become something really good. And his defense isn't terrible. Like I know people like to rag on his defense, but I think it could be better. Um, I'm him said it, so it's kind of the same of Ant and Reed because they were both buddies, and if they go away, they wouldn't be that good probably. And the Wolves got an injury risk player, and Ant and Reed lost chemistry. Yeah, I think that'll be interesting to see um, what happens with the Timberwolves this year because you're gonna have Lamelo and Ant, right? They're gonna be jacking threes all game. I don't know if that'll work. I think it'll be fun to watch, but I don't think it'll work. And Nas Reed is such a good player. I would love to have Nas Reed, by the way, but I know we probably can't get him. Um, But yeah, so but yeah, I agree on him. I think it's kind of like the same as Kali said Duran is better with a Cade, 100%. If he goes anywhere else, he's not going to be as good. Ethan said Sabonis not that bad, but it'd be cool having him in Detroit. Yeah, I agree. I wouldn't mind Sabonis. I think I'd rather keep Duran, keep that chemistry, keep that going. But if we were to get Sabonis, I wouldn't be too upset. Maybe if we get like Keegan Murray with it too. Yeah, Kali said Duran and Cade have synergy. Yeah, without a doubt, without a doubt. Rises Nine said get JB from the Celtics. Yeah, so we talked about that a little bit. It sounds like Jalen Duren actually asked to. I don't know if he asked or if he said he prefers to be traded to the Celtics or what. But I did hear that the something about him wanting to go to the Celtics. So if we were to trade him to the Celtics, I'm assuming we'd get Jalen Brown. But then who would you want? Rises Nine. Who would you want for the center? Would you want to go sign a free agent out there? Maybe like I don't know if DeAndre Ayton is a free agent or not, but get someone. James McMillan said, "Did you guys hear anything back from the Lakers and Duran?" Not yet. There has not been any new info really come out about the Kings meeting or the Lakers meeting. I have not heard anything yet. I'm assuming tomorrow we'll probably get some info. But yeah, we'll keep an eye on it, and if anything comes out of it, I'll probably talk about it tomorrow. On him said, plus they're both ball hogs. Yeah, no, yeah. Duran and or sorry, not Duran, and Lamelo are complete ball hogs. Like I don't know. Like that duo to me is kind of like the Bradley Beal and Devin Booker duo, or like the James Harden and Kyrie Irving duo. Like I don't think it'll work, but it'd be fun to watch. Ethan said, but I don't think we can do it. I think I want to keep Duran in every. So cool. He's just signed again at Detroit. That'd be cool. Yeah, I doubt we get rid of Duran. I'm assuming we're gonna keep him. I would be really surprised if Duran's not on the team start of the season. But yeah. Uh, XIAOBAO said, "What's good, man?" He said Duran dated Angel Reese. His judgment is highly sus. Yeah, that. Yeah, I mean, you can have whatever thoughts you want on Angel Reese and her image. I mean, yeah, I'd agree. He. I don't know that whole thing though with the playoffs where him and was it Wendell Carter? Because I think Wendell Carter's dating Angel Reese now. That shit was so funny. Seeing Wendell Carter just like destroy Duran, and then like she was like going crazy, like oh my gosh, that was funny. Gary Williams said, "Is Duncan gone? That would be a mistake." Yeah, let me pull him up. Nope, wrong thing. There's Duncan. So from what I heard earlier, there was a big rumor going around that Duncan Robinson might be getting traded. It's not for certain, but there was a big talk about it, and I honestly would not like to get rid of him. I would like to keep him and Isaiah Joe because those are going to be your two sharpshooters, right? So hopefully we keep Duncan, but we'll see. El Capitan, what's good, man? He said, I would rather Sacramento give us Maxine. Yeah, I heard a lot of people saying that Maxine Raynaud, a stretch big who's 7 feet with Keegan Murray and a future first. I could see that. Um, I'm not too familiar with Maxine, his game. I haven't really watched his film yet because I haven't really looked into that. Um, but yeah, I mean, I've heard people say that. Like, I honestly can't say it would be a bad idea because you get Keegan Murray in there too. That could be interesting. James McMillan said, I heard that Duran had a lot of interesting to want to join the Kings, and Sabonis wants to leave Sacramento. Yeah, there it is. I mean, Duran had a meeting tonight with the Kings, so we'll see how that went. But I mean, yeah, when you look at it, if both are wanting out and both are wanting to go to different teams, I think honestly, first of all, I think that I think that uh, Sabonis would be a really good fit here. I think he'd be nice, but I don't know. Duran, if Duran wants to go to the fucking Kings, go for it, buddy. Like, Y2 Chris said, "Kate can make any center look good." Damn right, damn right. You're not wrong there. And look at Duran. He's not a great shooter, not a great defender. So I mean, you go get somebody that's the same thing. You know, just a player that might average only 12 and 8, but then you put him on the Pistons, they might perform a lot better. James McMillan said, "Do you think Detroit would take a Sabonis and Zach LaVine?" Yeah, I don't know. Zach Levine would be interesting. Like, I mean, I don't know. He to me, I'm not a huge Levine fan because every team he seems to go to, he just makes it. Not saying it's his fault, but like every team he goes to, they just are mid, right? Like, it just feels that way to me. But he's a good player and good shooter too. So we'll see. Um, Troy said Reynaud is cold. Okay, I'm gonna watch him later tonight, and I'll talk about him tomorrow. Maybe I am planning on going live again tomorrow night around 10 p.m. again. If you guys wanna pipe join back in, because I probably am not gonna be able to go live the rest of the week because I'm gonna be gone for 4th of July. So I might go, and we'll see if we'll get some more free agency news. Troy said this free agency is boring as fuck. Yeah, it definitely is. Nothing so far. Literally, I haven't heard anything. I was like excited. Like, I mean, oh my god, there's gonna be so many signings. There's been nothing. Kali said Sabonis 46 mil, Levine 49 mil. Yeah, a little too much. So Levine getting 49 million is crazy, by the way. He should be getting like 25 mil. He needs to split that contract in half. That is crazy. I did not know that. Ethan said yes. Duncan Robinson has been with the Detroit Pistons for 1 year. Yeah, I mean, I'd like to just keep Duncan, right? I think that'd be your best option. But we'll see what they're thinking. Um, Troy said exactly. Um, oh, I missed El Captain. El Captain said Sabonis won't make sense for Detroit. Why would not pay Duran but pay Sabonis, who's making more? Well, Sabonis is making more than. I mean, I said earlier, I think Sabonis and Duran are pretty even in terms of like if I were to rank them. It depends on if you want defense or if you want a lob threat. Um, so yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. I mean, if we can get more in the trade though, like let's say we trade Duran for Sabonis and someone else, I could see the Pistons wanting to do it, but we'll see. Um, Ethan said, I think I already responded to him. Troy said exactly. Cap Sabonis hella overpaid for his injury risk. That's true. He is very injury prone. Rises9 said maybe Celtics add Queta. Ooh, yeah, I would like that. Fun fact, I actually wanted to draft Queta when he was leaving Utah State, I believe it was. I'm a very big fan of Queta. That'd be interesting, but maybe they add Queta, who averaged 10 and 8 this season and makes less than 3 mil. He doesn't put up points like Duran, but JB would make up for that. There you go. Honestly, Rises9, I want to hear what everyone else thinks about that too. That to me is not a terrible idea. If we were to trade Duran to the Celtics for JB, who is a 25 point per game guy, alongside Cade, who's a 25 point per game guy, and then you have a Sar, who's not really a scorer, more of a defender. Down low, maybe you add a Roy Hachimura at the 4, who's a pretty good scorer, and then you add Nemius Queta, who is more of a shot blocking rim protector and rebounder. That could be interesting. I wouldn't hate it. But obviously I'd rather keep Duran. Troy said Sabonis and Monk would be an interesting package. I agree. If we were to get Monk, yeah, Malik Monk would be sick. He would be like that Beasley replacement a little bit, right? Gary Williams said, will Holland be traded? I have not heard anything about Holland getting traded. I hope he doesn't. I hope he stays. I really want to see that man develop because I love that guy. He's an absolute animal when he is on the court. But there's a good chance he does. If we were to trade for somebody big, not using Duran, then he would probably get thrown in the package. So Ethan said, yes, Duncan Robinson signed a 3-year, $48 million contract with Detroit Pistons, which runs through. Yeah, so we still got 2 years left of Duncan, but from what I've heard is that there's a decent chance we might trade him, which I, again, would not want to. I would rather keep him, but we'll see. Troy said Duran and LeVert for Sabonis and Monk. Yeah, that's a decent offer if we were to do it. If we were for sure we're for sure set on trading Duran, then I think I think getting Sabonis and Monk would be a good get back for us. I like that package. Troy said it's fun to talk this, but Duran is 100% sane. That's what I said earlier. Where'd Duran go? I said that earlier. I said I went from last night about 40% sure that he was going to be gone to now I'm like about like 95% sure he's staying. I would say I'm almost 100% sure that he's staying. There still is a chance. Like there still is a chance that we trade him if he really wants to be gone. Because if he doesn't want to play for us for whatever fucking reason, maybe he hates Trajan Langdon, then we'll trade him. But I just don't see it that way. I think he's gonna want to stay with Cade, and I think we're gonna give him whatever he wants. So I 100% agree, Troy. I think he's for sure staying. What else y'all got for me, man? If y'all are in here right now, by the way, appreciate y'all. We got 52 of you. Appreciate y'all guys for being in here, man. If you guys feel like it, make sure to hit that like button. It helps out a lot, so we can get more people in here as well. And then I'm also trying to hit 1,000 subscribers. So if you feel like it, hit that subscribe button. What else we got in here? Ethan said, and that will feel good to Detroit Pistons. Yeah, yeah. I think we're keeping Duran. We should. Y2 Chris said, I hope Trajan gets rid of Careless Lever. Yeah, yeah. He should be gone. I think him and Sasser are both gone for sure. Duncan's more of a maybe, but I think Karras and Sasser really don't have a spot in this team anymore. After we drafted Abuka, we signed Dennis Jenkins. We re-signed him. I think that Karras Lever no spot in this team anymore, and same thing with Sasser. So, Zach, what's good, man? You said, so are we going to sign all of our free agents and new players first before we re-sign Duran? We still have 21 to 26 million cap space, regardless of signing Duran or not. Yeah, it could happen. It also sounds like we're gonna be letting go of Tobias Harris. I talked about that a little bit yesterday. Um, yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I don't know if we'll go sign a bunch of. I think what we'll probably do is we're gonna sign Duran maybe tomorrow or Thursday. I think by Saturday we're gonna re-sign Duran. You'll see. Um, by Saturday night, and then more than likely we'll probably start filling in around after that. So more than likely we're gonna let go of Tobias. Maybe sign a guy like Roy Hachimura, John Collins. We'll see. And Zach also said Duran is not going anywhere. If he truly wants to leave, then we will sign him to a 1-year contract this year. Let him leave next year, but I doubt we will allow him to do that. Yeah, I personally think we're going to give him a 5-year, 225 million contract. I think, like I said, probably by like Saturday. I would assume probably tomorrow or Thursday. But it really just depends on what they're thinking. It really does. I think that it all comes down to obviously negotiations, but I think Pistons are just going to match. If any team tries to go after Duran, I think we just match it. So Zach said, "You hope we go after Powell." Yeah, I might get back into this in a little bit if you guys want. I talked about a couple mock rosters I made up. I'll just briefly mention them right now. We can get back into them later, unless you guys start throwing a bunch of shit in chat, then we can talk about it a little bit more. But yeah, so this mock roster, you got Cade, you got Norman Powell, you got Asar Thompson, you got John Collins, and you got Duran. My other mock roster, I have my other two. This one you keep Duncan Robinson, and then you go sign Roy Hachimura. And then my other one was a bit more probably unlikely, but you go trade for Lauri Markkanen, and then you start Isaiah Joe. So that is those are my mock rosters. So we can kind of talk about that a little bit again if you guys want. Let's see what y'all think about it, because I think we got a bunch of new people in here. We got 66 people in here, man. What's good, guys? Throw something down in that chat. Appreciate all the subs, man. We got like almost 20 subs tonight. Appreciate you guys so much. Let's see what y'all are saying. We'll pull up this one first. So Zach said he hopes we go after Powell. I don't know how. Let me see. I'm trying to pronounce your name right. Asaya Israel. John Collins is a good pickup. I agree. I think he'd be a cheaper option as a free agent. He was getting paid 25 mil, but his contract is definitely going to be down a little bit. I would expect to be able to get him for maybe 15 to 20, but we'll see. I would love John Collins though. El Capitan said, I think Duran is upset last year Detroit didn't extend him at 30 mil a year. Told him to prove himself to get near max, which he did by making All-Star and All-NBA. Yeah, you're right. But again, and I think a lot of people like to shit on Duran because of the playoffs. It was 14 games that out of, compared to the 82 he played in the regular season where he didn't perform well. Obviously, the most important games of the season. So it's like you would hope he would perform better than what he did, but in the same sense, yeah, I would hope to see. Again, I want Duran to be re-signed. He should be a Detroit Piston, but it really comes down to whatever whatever he's asking for. Like if the Kings are going to go sign him for 50, $60 million, like, sheesh. I don't know if the Pistons will want to match that. But yeah, you might be right. He might be upset about the whole situation. Zach said, I will be really disappointed if we just re-sign our guys and don't make a splash move to get us over the top. Yes, and what is it that all Detroit teams seem to do? Detroit Tigers, Pistons, Lions, Red Wings. What do? They sit there and they don't make moves. The Pistons could have made a move for MPJ at the trade deadline this past season, and they didn't. And what did it do? We got to the playoffs and we can't fucking shoot the ball. So, where was I at? Patty Grimes, what's up, man? Appreciate you joining, man. I appreciate you. Let me know what you're thinking about this roster or anything NBA related. We're talking about a lot of NBA tonight. Let me know what you're thinking, bro. Aaron's, what's good, man? He said, all middling moves, we need a lot more than a Hachimura or Collins to move the needle. Yeah, I don't disagree with that at all. So would you be more of a fan of this mock roster I made? Maybe if you go get a Lauri Markkanen, who is an elite scorer, 7-footer, who is an okay defender. And yeah, Isaiah Joe at the 2. I don't disagree. I think for this roster here, like all you're really doing is you're just basically keeping Duncan Robinson. You're keeping the roster you had, but you're just getting rid of Tobias, signing Rui Hachimura, who might be a better Tobias. And then for this one's a little bit more of a splash because you're getting Norman Powell, but and you'd probably get rid of Duncan Robinson. But John Collins, I think, would be a good pickup in there as well. What else do we got? Where was I? Oh man, we got a bunch of chats. Justin Fett, what's good, man? You said, I sure hope so. I'm tired of hearing about Duren trade and max contract. Yeah, I know, same, man. I just want to see Duren here in Detroit. That's what I want. If we do trade him, as long as it's for something good, man, I wouldn't be too upset. But I want to see Duren back here next season. Troy said, how did we realistically get out of LeVert's contract? 15 mil, 1 year left. Package him in a bigger trade to match salary. I heard that the Mavericks are pretty interested in him and Sasser, so I think we might trade for like PJ Washington, which I'm not a huge fan of, but I'm also not. I wouldn't be too upset about it either, because he's a solid player. But I would rather him come off the bench. But Troy also said, Aaron's, I agree. Those guys ain't gonna make us match how stacked the Knicks are. Yeah, you ain't wrong. I missed Ibrahim. What's good, man? Good to see you. He said, I want Duren to return at like a OG Anunoby type of deal. Yeah, I agree with that for sure. Troy, I think and then Ibrahim also said, in no way is MPJ worth 3 first-round picks plus Tobias and Ron Holland. Absolutely not. I think they were trying. Yeah, I think that was like what they were trying to get us to send, and I agree. But I think, I think we still could have gone and got someone, whether it was MPJ or someone else this offseason, at the trade deadline. But MPJ, for what he's worth, he's not a good defender, right? He's just a shooter and a good scorer. But yeah. We also have XIAOBAO said Jenkins at point, Kate at shooting guard. Yeah, I don't know if Jenkins is ready to start, but I don't hate it. I would rather Jenkins come off the bench and be your like backup 2 or 1. But I don't hate that. I just think that I would rather have an Isaiah Joe or a Duncan Robinson starting so Danis can, because Danis is a really good point guard. He can pass the ball very well. Ethan said yes. If I was him, I would say no. I'm saying the Detroit Pistons. I'm not look like him and a good basketball player. Yeah, wait, let me reread that. I'm assuming, Ethan, that you're talking about, you're saying if the Detroit Pistons, I'm not look like him. Yeah, you're going to look at him. Yeah, I think what you're trying to say is that the Pistons should re-sign him, which I agree. I think you're also saying maybe Duren doesn't want to because of everything that's kind of been happening. But yeah, I don't disagree. Zach, what's good, man? You said Sexton is still available. Oops, dropped my phone. Sexton is still available at shooting guard 2, and if he gets 32 to 35 minutes a game, he averages 23 to 25. I wouldn't mind Sexton as a starting shooting guard. I would rather him come off the bench, but if you have Duncan Robinson on the team, I'd probably start Sexton over him. Sexton's a solid player. Yeah, I don't disagree. Sexton can give you 20 any night. I wouldn't hate that at all. Aaron said, I'm not a marketing guy. Someone like Murphy or MPJ, all 3 of those guys are in that tier I'd be happy with. Yeah, that's fair. I we'll go back to the marketing roster. Yeah, it's a bit unrealistic, and you'd have to give up quite a bit. Like if you're gonna get Laurie Markkinen, you're probably going to have to give up, um, hopefully not Duran, but probably like Ron Holland, Karis LeVert, and then a couple first round picks, which would suck to have to do. But I would love to have Laurie just because of what he is, an elite scorer, and I think him and Cade paired together would be so nice, along with Duran down low. Oof. Zach said Miami's about to be good. Yeah, dude. Giannis in there with um, Bam Adebayo, those two down low. And then if they do go after LeBron, that would be crazy. I don't know if they could afford him though, right? But yeah, and if maybe they re-sign Norman Powell, who knows? Aaron said the fact that we are showing interesting guys like Hachimura and trying to sign Dean Wade has me concerned. Makes me feel like Langdon is just trying to get some good role players. That's what I'm thinking too. I don't really think we're gonna go after anyone big. I think if we were to get someone big, it would be because we trade Duran, right? So that's why I kind of would love to see us go after Laurie Markkinen. Like we got to make a big move, right? Like look what the Knicks did. The Knicks went out and they got Cat, got Mikal Bridges, and what did they do? They won the freaking finals. We got to go make a big move. Get rid of a couple first round picks if you need to in the future. Whatever. Troy said when you max out Cade, Duran, and Asar, it's hard to add more star power financially. That is true because Cade and Duran are going to take up almost half of our cap, and then you also have to worry about Asar's contract next year. So and he's going to be getting probably 30 mil. I don't know. So, yeah, I don't disagree there either. Aaron said, I agree. MPJ for 3 first round picks is too much. These bad teams no longer want to dump their good players because of their new tanking rules. It's a real problem. Yeah. As much as I would think MPJ would be sick on this team, I ain't giving up 3 first round picks. Absolutely not. Aaron said also that at the very least, absorb Cam Johnson and Denver caps cap relief. Yeah, Cam Johnson's a solid guy. I mean, you could have him off the bench, or you could start him and have Isaiah Joe off the bench. Wouldn't mind that. And then Aaron's also said Sexton and Okori are super redundant. Yeah, that's fair. That is very true. I don't disagree at all. Um, Ethan said, "Yeah, I like playing basketball." Yeah, for sure, man. And then El Captain said Isaiah Joe is being slept on. I think he can start instantly next to Cade. Yeah, I don't disagree with that. I don't. I think honestly, I think Isaiah Joe. The only reason that the Oklahoma City Thunder got rid of him was because they just got Jared McCain, and Jared McCain's all right. But honestly, Isaiah Joe to me has potential to be a starter. Like he could probably start for many teams. I think for the Detroit Pistons' sake, why not? Why not start him? Like easily, I would take him. Aaron said Martin is also the most expensive contract, and Ainge. I don't know what Ainge is. But yeah, I don't disagree. Markkinen is also good, or also like a very expensive guy that you're gonna. So having him and Duran and Cade, like it's not likely, but I'd love to see it. Kali was good, man. Good to see you back in the chat. Section is essentially Jenkins, Sasser, and Okori. We don't need redundancy. Very true. Very true. It doesn't hurt to have a surplus of good shooting guards, but um, I don't disagree with that for sure. Ibrahim said, I want Isaiah Joe to start at 2 and keep Duncan Robinson off the bench. Yes, that's what I've been saying too. I would like Duncan Robinson to come off the bench. To me, Duncan Robinson is a literal bench player. Like he kind of like Malik Beasley. Like when we had Malik Beasley, what was he? Every time he'd start, he wouldn't do well, but when you'd come off the bench, he'd get you buckets. Isaiah Joe to me is more of a starting caliber player, whereas Duncan Robinson is just a pure like shooter. So having him come off the bench would be better. Ibrahim said we just need to upgrade the 4 position. That's been my biggest thing, right? Especially if we let go of Tobias, we need to get a better 4. And to me, like, I mean, John Collins isn't too much of an upgrade, but I would like him. Rui Hachimura isn't too much of an upgrade, but I would like him. Obviously, Laurie would be a huge upgrade, but I don't know if we can afford it. Um, but yeah, and then we also got Aaron saying this is the offseason for a big move. Last year of Asar's contract, have to take advantage. 100% agree, man, because once we have to pay Asar, we're not going to be able to make any more big moves. But yeah, Ethan said, yeah, NBA Summer League is coming up. Yes, sir, man. I'm excited for that. We're gonna be talking a lot about that. We'll get some good talk about those rookies that we got. Ibrahim said, bro, that lineup you got is amazing. Laurie at the 4. Yeah, could you imagine? I mean, so obviously if you trade for Laurie, you're gonna have to give up Duncan. You're gonna have to let go of Tobias, which is fine. Because that frees up quite a bit of money, right? We already let go to Beef Stew. I'm trying to think. If you let go of Karras, you free up another 15 mil. So you could free up essentially $45 million by getting rid of Karras, Duncan, and Tobias. I don't know how much Tobias is getting paid. Someone want to let me know. Um, but yeah, I don't disagree with that. I this would be a sick lineup. This is my dream lineup right here. It's very unrealistic, but what I would like. Oh, Danny Ainge. My bad, Aaron's. I'm sorry. Yeah, no, I don't disagree with that. Let me look back to what you said earlier. Ainge is the bitch, so good luck. Yeah. El Captain said we won't get Markkinen. Ainge is too greedy, and we're too cheap. Yeah, Ainge, he is too greedy because I mean you look at what they fucking have. They have Walker Kessler, Lauri Markkinen, and Jaren Jackson Jr. all on the same team. Like what is going on there? Um, but yeah, I don't disagree though. Like I wish we could get Markkinen, but like I agree. It's just too big of a move for the Detroit Pistons, right? Like I just can't see it. But if I was a GM, I would be going all out for Lauri Markkinen. It would be a perfect, in my opinion, perfect fit and a great player. But yeah, if we were to make a big move this offseason, I would hope it would be this. This would be sick. Um, Justin said Laurie at the four would be elite. Man, it seems like everyone really likes this lineup. I'm happy about this. This is like the one that I was like, all right, I'm gonna throw this in there and see what people say. Yeah, it's an expensive roster, but this right to me is a championship caliber roster. So, um, Aaron said what I think we need to do is use Duncan's contract in a bigger trade. He's a very valuable contract in two at 2 million guaranteed. Yeah, he's got him, Karras make up 30 mil, right? So if you trade him, those two guys, along with maybe someone else and a couple picks, you could go get Laurie. Laurie is someone I would give up 2 to 3 first round picks for, um, because of just how good I think he would fit this. Like I think he would immediately make us the best team in the entire NBA. Will it happen? Probably not. But if I am Trajan Langdon, man, I'm looking at it, right? What else do we got when the Pistons re-sign Duran? He's going straight to Keem Olajuwon camp. Yeah, yeah. What's up, Miss? Yeah, he definitely is. He needs to work on his bag, man. He needs to get a better shot. Asaya Israel said Trey Murphy. Yes, yes. I haven't really talked about him much today. Trey Murphy would be sick. Very good fit, and would be. You could probably start him at the four, but you could also throw him at the two, the three. It just really depends. He's a very versatile guy and decent defender too. I would love Trey Murphy. That would be like a top three player this offseason that I think we should target. Jerry Miller said I agree. I'm assuming you're probably talking about the Laurie Markkinen and stuff. I would love to see that. Ethan said, "Do we think Detroit Pistons can get Christmas game 2026? Yes or no?" It's looking sad. Detroit Pistons hadn't have a Christmas game in a long time. Yeah, I hope we do. It'd be cool to have a Pistons Christmas game. Maybe they might put us with like the Knicks or something like that. I think that'd be cool. And then maybe like the Lakers and the Warriors, something like that for Christmas. But I wouldn't put it off the table. But I'm not gonna lie, Ethan. I probably don't really see it happening. Um, Jerry said we wanted him the last 2 years. I'm assuming you're talking about Laurie again. Absolutely. I've been wanting Laurie Markkinen since I think 2022 was when whenever he had that breakout year where he made the All-Star game. That's since then I've been wanting Laurie Markkinen. I've been asking to trade for him or sign him every single year. He's very good. Aaron said I don't see us keeping all three of Duncan, Joe, and Herter. Yeah, that's why I don't disagree. I will say this for Duncan and Herter, they're two very similar players. Um, but I don't disagree because I don't think you need, as much as I would say that it's good to have as many shooters as you can. Duncan and Herter would kind of play the same spot, right? Because you probably start Isaiah Joe, I would assume maybe, um, and then you'd have Herter and Duncan off the bench, which wouldn't really be the greatest lineup off the bench. Plus, because you already have Dennis Jenkins, uh, Abuka Okori in there, so I don't really know how that'd work, but we'll see. Aaron said, "I've been wondering if Aaron Gordon is available." That's an interesting take right there because that'd be a good. He's a power forward, correct? Pretty sure he is. Robinson's contract, Jenkins, first round pick swap for Gordon. Wouldn't hate it. One first round pick and then a swap for Aaron Gordon. Wouldn't be the worst thing. And he's a decent shooter too. That's an interesting take, Aaron. I honestly do not hate that at all. I think if we were to follow through with that, I wouldn't be. I wouldn't want to give up Jenkins though. I'd rather give up like Karras or Sasser. But I could, for some reason, I could see Jenkins being thrown in a package like that. I don't disagree. El Captain said, "Crazy, we about to pay big money for a center with no post move, jump shot, or 3 point range. In the last 2 years in the playoffs, disappeared, and Reed made him look like he's the third string center." Great take, El Captain. Yeah, I mean, as much as I do not like hating on Jalen Duren, because I do love the guy, he he really oh, 1 second. Sorry. Um, he really did underperform in the playoffs. Like he was a very disappointing. He was the biggest and probably one of the reasons that we didn't do as well. Um, but yeah, I think when you look at it, I think sorry, someone's texting me. I think that when you look at it, we really need to focus on Jalen Duren being an All NBA and All Star player. But I do agree he was not good in the playoffs, and Paul Reed made him look like a bitch. Paul Reed was phenomenal. So um, Wade gone, he just got signed. Yeah, I think he got signed. Sebastian said did he get signed to the Sixers? Damn, I think I heard it was a decent deal too. It was like a what 3 year 40 million. Correct me if I'm wrong. Jerry Miller said Gordon is a solid power forward. Absolutely, I think that'd be a good move for sure. I wouldn't hate that at all. Mark Steen also was saying earlier he was confident Sasser is going to Dallas. Yes, I talked about that a little earlier. I I was talking about how it sounds like Sasser is very likely to go to Dallas, which, or sorry, yeah, Dallas, and which means we'd probably pack up him and Levert, I would assume. So I definitely agree. I could definitely see that, and I think it's probably very likely. So sorry, I needed to. My dad's texting me. All right, we're good. Let's see what else we got. Aaron said. Fisher said that we wanted to clear cap to build our front court, so that is encouraging. Depending on who we get, yes, we need someone, right? Like when we look at these options right here, right? You have John Collins, you have Roy Hachimura, and then you have Laurie Markkinen, which is very unlikely, but again would be sick. And there's obviously a lot of other options, like we talked about Aaron Gordon, Trey Murphy, like absolutely, absolutely. Um, oh yep, and then El Captain said Trey Murphy would be also perfect fit. I've been saying that he's one of my top three players I really want to go after. He is a great player, great shooter, and I think he would fit this team very well. And then obviously my boy Kali said subscribe to Motor City Sportscast and be here for next stream. Chop it up. Absolutely, man. I appreciate you, Kali. That's my guy right there. If you guys are in here, man, make sure to throw some in that chat, hit that like button, and if you feel like it, hit that subscribe button too. We're getting close to 1,000 subscribers, which I'm very excited about. Jerry Miller said Sass for PJ. Yes, I would be fine with that. I think if we were to trade Sass to the Mavericks, more than likely it's going to be for PJ Washington. Obviously, you'd probably have to throw in a Karis LeVert in there too. But yeah, I honestly could definitely see that. Now, would I want PJ Washington as my starting four? I mean, he's not too much. I mean, he's not too far from John Collins, right? Like they're pretty similar players, like skill wise. So I wouldn't be too upset with it. But in the same sense, I think you could do maybe a little better. I would love to see PJ come off the bench, but his PJ's contract is also um, very it's a pretty high contract. So I don't know, but I wouldn't mind that at all. That'd be pretty sick. Um, Aaron said, yeah, I wouldn't mind PJ though. That would actually be a pretty good pickup. Aaron said, I wonder if they can absorb him for a second rounder or something. Maybe we get 5 mil more cap space, or if they are just trying to get another asset from Dallas. Yeah, I think we'd probably get an asset. Um, but I mean, if we just get a second round pick for him, then so be it. Uh, but yeah, I don't know. We'll see what it brings. Troy said, "What about bringing back Bruce Brown for the minimum?" Okay, now we're talking. I wouldn't mind that. Very good veteran. That I think would probably be. I forgot that he literally used to play for us. I wouldn't mind that at all. It would be a pretty cheap contract, so why not, right? We got Jerry Miller said we really need two power forwards. We don't have any. Yes, I've been saying that, like, especially because Tobias Harris is more than likely gone, right? Like, I personally think Tobias Harris is probably um, more than likely going to be off the team, which sucks to say, but in the same sense, um, because I really want to keep Tobias, but also I wouldn't want Tobias starting. Like he's getting older, he's not the best defender, so I don't know. Um, but yeah, I'd love to see us upgrade there and get a couple power forwards. El Captain say just bring old man Braun to play power forward. Hey, where is he at? I have him in here somewhere. There he is. Um, yeah, I wouldn't hate LeBron, but like in the same sense, he'd be here for 1 year. He's older. He probably would only play like 40 games. So, uh, probably not, but that would be pretty fucking sick. Imagine LeBron finishing his career in Detroit. Troy said, should we consider Jonathan Isaac? That's an interesting option. I'm not gonna lie. Um, I don't know if I'd want him starting, but coming off the bench, that would be a really good player to have. I believe he's on the Magic still, correct? I think that would be a pretty sick option. No doubt. Um, I wouldn't mind that. Aaron said the thing people don't talk about enough for us at power forward is rebounding. We give up way too many offensive rebounds. I would like a bigger power forward. Yeah, Tobias Harris is 6'8". I want to go get a 6'10", at minimum 6'9" guy, right? And I've always said that honestly, Beef Stew could have been our starting power forward. Um, but obviously, I know Tobias was a good floor spacer, so I was fine with it. But yeah, no doubt. I think that we need size. What do the Pistons always struggle against? It's size, right? Like you look at the Cavs, we struggle against them. The Magic, we struggled against them. The Bucks have always been giving us problems. You know, this Wemby and the Spurs, which I get it's Wemby, but um, Jerry Miller said Kaminga. I'm a big Kaminga guy. I really like him. He's a good defender as well. Not the best shooter, but would be a really good role player. If we could have him off the bench, I wouldn't mind it. Like let's say we give up Duncan Robinson, because I think Kaminga just got I think Kaminga's on a contract, so I think we'd have to trade for him. But I wouldn't mind Kaminga. He's a really good defender, and you could either start him or have Isaiah Joe. Um, El Captain said Isaac was waived. Okay, that's interesting. And I don't think Jonathan Isaac would cost much at all. So, Aaron's said yes, exactly. We struggle against the big front courts. Yeah, and it's been that way for quite some time now. So that's why I think just beefing up and getting some bigger players, I think would really help us. Um, Troy said Isaac got cut by the Magic. We could get him cheap for a Stu replacement. Yeah, I'm all for that. Now that thank you guys for bringing that up because I didn't even think about that. I didn't even see he got cut, by the way. Was that recent? Um, Absolutely would love to see Jonathan Isaac here. I think he'd be a good fit for us, and having him off the bench. And I mean, I wouldn't say you have to start him, but he wouldn't be a terrible starter in my opinion. Um, Jerry Miller said, "Great point. We should have played two bigs against Cleveland." Yes, I would have loved to have seen us start Beef Stew. I was saying we should have been starting B-Ball Paul. Like fuck, dude. B-Ball Paul was he was balling, man. Like he was literally carrying us. I'm not gonna lie, he was carrying us for a couple of those playoff games. Like he came in, and the second he came in, he was getting us buckets, he was getting us blocks, and he was making a difference, more than a difference of what Duran did in an entire game. So I love B-Ball Paul. Ethan said, "What about Kevin Durant? That would be sick. That would be. I doubt it happens because of his contract and his age. Um, is he still? Yeah, he's still in the Rockets, I believe. I heard that there was some. I don't think there's any trade rumors, but I did remember hearing something about that. If we were to trade for KD, I would. I mean, I remember there was a rumor he was going to come here a couple of years ago. I wouldn't hate it. I just think at his age, but he would be a really good power forward. Wow, yeah, no, that would be nice to have. That's a good what do you call it? A good dream to have, Ethan. I think that'd be sick to have KD. I would if we were to trade for KD, I'd be very hyped, but I don't know if it would work. But that would be pretty sweet. Aaron said, "It's why I wanted Yaxel so much in the draft. He was a perfect power." Oh man, I that was my number one target, which I knew we weren't gonna get him because I knew he'd probably go top 10 or 11 or 12. But like Yaxel would have been such a good fit. He's a good defender and just an elite scorer. He would have been so good and he can start right away. Honestly, he's 24. Um, Zach said, "I think if we got Colin Sexton, we could get him to be a 24 points per game scorer again." Yeah, I don't disagree. If you start him at the two, give him 35, 40 minutes a game, I could see him putting up 20 on any given night. But do I think that um, and he I wouldn't say he'd be an upgrade from Duncan. I guess he probably would be a little bit because Duncan, he's a good shooter, but he doesn't do much else. And Sexton's a good passer too, so I don't disagree with that. But then you would have to get rid of a couple of other guards that we have on this team. So, um, ooh, El Capitan, love it. Santi Aldama of Memphis is the tall power forward center. Yeah, he's like over 7 foot, and yeah, talk about. I mean, why didn't we trade him for Stu? Like, if we would have got Stu for him, I would have been absolutely thrilled. Although obviously I would rather just keep beef stew because beef stew is beef stew. But that would be a really good fit for a very young guy who has a lot of potential, or just a power forward slash center that has a lot of potential. The big fame. If we can't re-sign him, we should trade JD to Portland for Sharp. Yeah, I think Sharp would be pretty sick. He'd be probably a good shooting guard. Or the thing is though, I mean, if you were to give me Donovan Clingan, who's a very good lob threat, and Shaden Sharp, I think I would do it. But if we were just to get Shaden Sharp, I wouldn't do it because I think we need to get a big in return. Zach said the Pistons already said they have zero interest in trading Duren for anyone. Yeah, you're right. I said that, talked about that earlier. Highly doubt that we see Jalen Duren go anywhere else. I don't see it happening. But you never know. They only wanted Duren to go find a contract so we could show him that he can't get more money than what we're willing to pay, and offers in hopes that we could lowball him even more. Yeah, I mean, I think Duren is, I mean, as much as I've been kind of hating on him a little bit, I think he is just exploring his options, seeing what's out there, testing what he's worth, and seeing, if I can go get 45, 50 mil, I'll go get it. And he might be getting that, but the Pistons will match whatever they offer, any team offers, the Pistons will match. And then Kali said he agrees. Yeah, no doubt about it. I think Duren's going to be in Detroit. If he's not a starting five for us at the beginning of the season, I will be shocked, to say the least. So, oops. Y'all keep flooding that chat though, man. I gotta respond to someone real quick, but I will check back in just a sec. But yeah, keep putting stuff in that chat, man. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe. Appreciate y'all, man. We'll go for another maybe 30 minutes or so, and then we'll probably call it for tonight and maybe talk some more tomorrow. I think I'll probably hop back on around 10 p.m. tomorrow if you guys are interested. But all right, what we got? Jerry Miller said Kuminga is a, excuse me, my throat. Kuminga is an unrestricted free agent. Okay. So yeah, you could go sign him, and I don't think he'd cost too much. I don't think he'd cost over like 20-25 million. So Duren said, or sorry, Kali said Duren will get nothing more than Detroit offers him and like it. Absolutely. I think he's just, like I said, he's probably just testing it, seeing what's out there, but whatever Detroit offers him is what he's going to get. Because we do obviously control, like if a team wants to give Duren $60 million, which I don't even know if they can, but obviously at that point, fucking sign and trade, whatever you got to do, get him out of here. But like, if a team offers him 45, 50 mil, we're going to give him 45 or 50 mil. It's just how it's going to go. What else do we got? Kali said, or I already responded to Kali. PR Crazy, what's good, man? He said, hey, you guys want to sign Norman? You're a Heat fan. How would you guys sign Norman? So this is just a mock roster. I made a couple of them, and honestly, I can't say that. I think he's a top target for the Pistons, but the thing with the Miami Heat, PR Crazy, is that the Miami Heat could be interested in LeBron James. And if they're interested in LeBron James, they are not going to... Sorry, I need to turn this. Got notifications on my laptop. If they're interested in LeBron James, they're not going to probably pay Norman Powell, right? So I think LeBron's probably going to the Warriors or the Cavs, but I think if Miami's smart, they'll keep Norman because of just how good of a year, and they need guards. Like Miami has two insane bigs, they need guards. Um, North End Sig, what's good, man? You said what all the Mavs wanted Kyrie. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, there's that option too where um, Kyrie, if you were, let's say, to trade Sasser and Karras, maybe you throw in a couple picks or another couple players, and you could go get a Kyrie and PJ Washington. Kyrie's my favorite player, like, of all time. Like, obviously outside of like Cade Cunningham, but I love Kyrie Irving. He's like who I model my game after. So um, yeah, was it Ron and Duncan? Yeah, I think it was Ron, Duncan, and Sasser. The Mavs really want Sasser. It sounds like we'll probably be sending him over there. So yeah, we'll see. Aaron said the worst case scenario is that he takes the QO. If he does that, I would guess he would leave after next year. Yeah, if we were to sign him to like a 1 year, let's say, like just extend him for a year, then that could definitely happen. But North End Sig, Pistons might get Marvin Bagley. I forgot he was on the team a few years ago. He would be a decent bench guy, I guess. I mean, I don't. Bagley's not like a stud player by any means. He's a decent role player to come off the bench. If we could get him for a cheap contract, I would love to have him and B-ball Paul off the bench. That wouldn't be terrible, but yeah. Aaron said Norman Powell is fool's gold. He can score, but bad defender and black hole. There's a reason teams are climbing over themselves to get him. Uh, he's fool's gold. Yeah, yeah. He's not a good defender, which I mean Duncan really isn't either. So the one thing that Norman Powell is better at than Duncan is the fact that he can create on his own as well. He doesn't just shoot. He can score um, on his own. So but I think Norman Powell would just cost too much. That's why I'm not sure if I'd love that move. But at the same time, I think it would be a oops, sorry. I think that'd be a good move. But yeah, these are the three mock rosters. I'll run through them one more time. We got Cade, Norman Powell, Asar Thompson, John Collins, Duran, and then another one. We have Cade, Isaiah Joe, Asar Thompson, Laurie Markkinen, which unrealistic, but would love to see it. And then Jalen Duran, and then the other. I think we already ran through that. Oh, and then we have Cade Cunningham, Duncan Robinson, Asar Thompson, Roy Hachimura, and Jalen Duran. So let me know what you guys think about any of those. Which one's your favorite? North End Six said same. Kyrie's my favorite point guard. Yeah, I've got his jersey over in my closet. He's one of my favorites. I would love to see him in Detroit. He is a little older and injury prone, but I would still be so ecstatic just because I love Kyrie so much. BKN, good to see you back. Another option is poaching restricted free agents like Terry Eason and Peyton Watson. Yeah, those are good, probably good bench guys, I'd say. Um, Terry Eason's a really good defender too, so no doubt. I could definitely see that happening. Uh, but yeah, just going after like those cheaper guys that you can get a lot of value out of. North End Six said if we trade for Hero, I'll get Ware. Yeah, I mean they both did just get moved to the Bucks. If we were to trade like let's say Duncan and I don't know, Karras, Sasser, maybe a couple picks, um, that wouldn't be a terrible move. I wouldn't be upset. I really wanted Hero before. I was really hoping the Pistons would make a three team trade out of the Giannis trade because when they were kind of announcing that it was sounding like Giannis was going to the Heat, I was really hoping that we'd go after Tyler Hero, but I don't think we are. But that would be pretty sick to get him and Ware. Um, Aaron said, "Yeah, Powell is better than Duncan, but I just don't want to allocate you more money to shooting guard." Yeah, I think our focus is entirely on the front court now. Yeah, you're not wrong. I mean, do I? Here's the thing though. If you look at it, like you're gonna have either Duncan or Isaiah Joe probably starting at your two, if you don't go after any other shooting guards. So it depends on how you feel about that. But then again, if you go get a really good four, like if you go get like a really good four that can play, then it's probably worth it, right? Um, PR Crazy said, "I know, and I don't want Norman back because he was a big hole in score. And if his scoring wasn't there, he probably wasn't doing anything else. Yeah. Other than LeBron, I would want Simons in a big. Also, would y'all do a sign and trade for him? You think? Potentially. I doubt we'd do a sign and trade. Um, as a Pistons fan, I wouldn't want to do a sign and trade because A, I want to keep Duran, and B, I don't think Norman Powell is really worth doing a sign and trade for. I would like to see Norman Powell if it was a good enough contract on the Pistons, but because Duncan's getting paid 15 mil, so if you paid Norman Powell 25 mil, to me, that's not terrible for an upgraded player that's a little bit better of a scorer. But and I think he'd fit pretty good next to Cade. But yeah, no, I mean, I'm not the biggest Norman Powell guy. I'd rather get like a Trey Murphy. But yeah, North End Sig said where can shoot and he's a lob threat. Yeah, he's like 7 foot, isn't he? I remember him when he was on. Was it Oregon? I think he got drafted out of Oregon. Very good player. I think he's got a lot of potential. I think the Heat used him pretty well, but I like Ware. Captain said we need size and a guy who can get his own shot and score. Yeah, that's why I've been wanting Laurie Markkinen because Laurie Markkinen is the shooter, the scorer, and he's a decent defender. He's 7 foot. So yeah. Troy said, "Are we really committed to Paul Reed as our backup?" I honestly hope so. I think Paul Reed's a damn good player. He's proved it the last 2 years. Every time he comes in, he makes a difference. So I'm not saying he needs to be the only big. Like I would love to see us go get one more backup like center slash power forward because we need more bigs anyway as it is. Because we're probably gonna be letting go of Tobias Harris. So that means you need to fill the starting four and the backup four spot. So yeah, definitely agree. Um, Jerry Miller said he likes Watson, Peyton Watson. That's a good player. That's a good. He's on the Nuggets, I believe, unless he got moved from there. But good player to have coming off your bench, maybe start. I don't know. I don't think he'd be much of an upgrade from Tobias, but to have him off the bench, I think would be sick. Um, North End Sig said, what about Kevin? Are you saying Kevin Herter? Um, yeah, I mean, I hope we use him more this year. Now that we re-signed him, because I know he was a little bit hurt, but I hope we actually use him this year. We'll see. Um, Aaron said, "I'm cool with Duncan and Joe if we get a home run power forward like MPJ or something." Yeah, I think if we're going to keep those two guys that are like one our starter and our backup shooting guard, then you need to get a home run power forward, right? So it's either one or the other. You're either going to get a fill-in power forward like a John Collins or a Rui Hachimura, which I would be fine with, and then you go get a stud shooting guard, or you just keep what you got at shooting guard and then go all out for that power forward, and you can get two power forwards in there because we need one off the bench as well. PR Crazy said, let's say under 25. Yeah, I mean, I'm guessing you're talking for Norman Powell. Yeah, I mean, if you could keep him for under 25 mil, that's a deal for a guy who's like a little all star this year. So, Captain said we have no chance against big teams like Miami, Cavs, Orlando, Utah, Atlanta, Houston. Yeah, well, I was talking about that earlier too. I think you were in here. I was saying how we just have never the Pistons have never been good against those bigger teams. The Cavs have always been better. The Bucks when they had Brook Lopez and Giannis. Um, Obviously, the Spurs with Wemby, the Magic almost beat us in the playoffs. Like we always struggle with those bigger teams, so we need to get a big like 7 footer down there along with Darren. North End Sig said nobody see us getting Draymond Green. I heard a bit of a rumor about that. I mean, I wouldn't hate Draymond. Would I want him starting at the four? I mean, he'd be solid. He's a good passer, good rebounder, and an amazing defender. But then again, the issue with that is that you're going to have two non-shooters down low. You need at least one shooter down low, and that's why Tobias Harris was a pretty good option, but for sure. Aaron said last I heard Harris coming back was up in the air, so he might come back. I think he was meeting with 5 teams or something. Yeah, from what I heard, they said there was a good chance he's not coming back, but that doesn't mean he's not going to, right? I think that if I were the Pistons, I'd re-sign him. It doesn't mean he has to start, but like I would rather him probably be your backup four. But I would rather just keep Tobias Harris because I really like him. PR Crazy said only problem with Ware is his attitude. Yeah, I have heard he has attitude issues, so I didn't know how like bad it was. But obviously, like as a Pistons fan, I wouldn't want a player with bad attitude issues. Jerry Miller said yes, power forward. We are already guard heavy. Absolutely. We need power forwards right now. We have Jalen Duren, we have Paul Reed, and that is pretty much it. We have the guy we drafted in the second round, but I doubt he'll play that much this year as a rookie. Um, and if Tobias does not resign, then that means you need to obviously fill that gap, and then also more than likely probably fill the gap on the bench as well. So I'd love to see us go all out for a power forward, and that's why I want Lauri Markkanen. Go get him. Then just keep your shooting guards as it is because I think our shooting guards are solid. Isaiah Joe, Kevin Herter, and Duncan Robinson. I'd be fine with that. But if we trade Duncan for someone else, wouldn't be too mad, I guess, as long as it's a good player. El Captain said, where would be a solid man? Averages like 11 and 9 in 22 minutes. His attitude came from Miami not being consistent with his minutes. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, Miami never really gave him consistent minutes, so that's a fair point to make. I don't disagree with that. I think when it comes down to the attitude thing, yeah, the minutes thing is a lot of players might get upset with that. So, I would like Ware. I think Ware would be perfect. I mean, you could probably start him. I mean, I wouldn't mind that, but he's a young player too. So, but yeah, definitely don't disagree with that. But yeah, let me know what else you guys are thinking, man. We already kind of talked about these mock rosters. I'll go through them one more time. Let me know what you guys think one last time, or any other players you'd rather see. So we got Cade, Norman Powell, Asar Thompson, John Collins, Jalen Duren. And then the next one you have Cade, Duncan, so keeping him, Asar Thompson, Roy Hachimura, and then Jalen Duren. And then the final one is Cade, Isaiah Joe, Asar Thompson, Lauri Markkanen, and Jalen Duren. Let me know which one's your favorite, or any other changes you might make. I'm gonna probably do more, maybe tomorrow. Maybe I want to include Trey Murphy in one because I kind of forgot to in this one. Because I would love to see Trey Murphy here, but Jerry Miller said Ugana should play elite shot blocker. Yeah, I think he could fill in the gap that Beef Stew had. Because yeah, like you said, an elite shot blocker. He had like 9 blocks on Cam Boozer in the ACC championship. So I think he'll get minutes. I just don't think they'll be like Paul Reed minutes last year. You know how Paul Reed would come in, maybe play 5 or 10 minutes. It'll be like that. Just a really good defender. And when we go up against those bigger teams like the Cavs, now you have him. North End Sig said, not gonna lie, I called the Portland Trailblazers for Sharp. Shaden Sharp, he averages 20. Glad you found my account. Hey, I appreciate that, North End. I try to do. I'm starting to do a lot of live streams because I used to do YouTube videos a lot and like I just got sick of editing. I'll still do them like once or twice a week, or once every other week or so. But yeah, man. If I appreciate you for being in here. I'm a diehard Pistons fan. Me too, man. This was an insane. Maybe we'll just do a little Pistons season recap because I haven't really done that on here. But yeah, I appreciate you though, man. That means a lot to me. I'm gonna be going live tomorrow at 10 p.m. as well. We'll talk some more about the Pistons and stuff. But yeah, for the Shaden Sharp thing, yes, that would be pretty sick, wouldn't it? Shaden Sharp on the Pistons, athletic freak, good shooter. Would be a nice fit next to Cade, I think. That'd be interesting. I doubt it happens, but like low key, like now that you say that, I definitely would not mind that. And I forgot he averaged 20 this year. He had a really good year this year. He's been getting better, and if he stays healthy, I think he's a good player. So, but yeah, y'all keep throwing shit in that chat, man. If you're in here right now, make sure to hit that like button, and if you feel like it, hit that subscribe button because we are having a really good night. We have like over 20 subscribers tonight, so I really do appreciate y'all for that. But yeah, make sure to hit that like button. Looks like we just got someone. Thank you. Throw something down that chat too. Give me something to talk about. Let me know what's on your mind. This whole channel is about you guys voicing your opinions just as much as I do. So throw some in that chat. Let me know what y'all are thinking. And yeah, I appreciate y'all. Make sure to hit that like, subscribe button, man. It means a lot to me. And it helps out a lot. North End Sig said at 10. Yeah, probably 10 p.m. Usually is when I go live. Tomorrow's Wednesday. Yeah, I would say I could do 9 p.m. But more than likely, I think I'm going to do 10 p.m. So if you guys are able to make it for 10 p.m., I'll be on till probably midnight-ish. I'll probably go for another, I don't know. This has been fun. I might go a little longer than what I usually do tonight, but yeah, around 10. El Captain said, liked and subscribed. First time on here was fun. Hey, that's my guy right there, El Captain, man. I appreciate you. You've had a lot of good chats tonight, man. I appreciate you. Hopefully I see you tomorrow too, but Aaron said, still no Pistons trade. Fisher lying to us. Yeah, they always do. We never make moves, but Obviously, hoping that with free agency starting, hopefully we get active. Troy said we can't just spew out these names without the expectation we'd have to give up either a star or Duran. It takes stars to acquire stars. It does, but then you also look at some teams that like absolutely go after. Like you look at like what the Warriors are about to do, right? Like they're talking about getting AD and LeBron, and plus they already have Curry. So it's like you can do it. You just have to understand that your bench has to be cheaper, and you have to understand that your role player is going to be a little cheaper. Whereas Isaiah Joe isn't making crazy money, and obviously you'd have to give up guys like Duncan, Karras, who are that's $30 million right there. Sasser would add in a little bit. Get rid of Tobias probably, but like you can do it. You just have to be able to manage it right and make sure it's the right player. Um, Kali said, "Enjoyed the conversations, bro." Hey, appreciate you, Kali. Glad you're still in here, man. You've been on here like the whole night. You are the goat, man. Um, Let me know if you're leaving. I can't tell if you're saying that you're leaving or not, but I'll still go another probably like 15, 20 minutes if you guys want. Um, Ethan said that the NBA draft, it was an amazing NBA draft. Yeah, it was. For the Pistons' sake, I wouldn't say I loved it. Abuka Corey's a nice player. And if he's going to replace Sasser, he's probably going to be a better Sasser, so I don't mind it. And then the second round pick was really good too. So, but yeah, North End Sig said it's so many people we can trade for. Yeah, and there's unlimited options. It just depends on what we're willing to give up and what's available too, like or what other teams are making available. So, Dooms Dave, what's good, man? Appreciate you for throwing some in the chat. You said, I want to know how to act if LeBron becomes a Piston. I've shit on that guy for the last 20 years. Yeah. I doubt that ever happens. Could you imagine LeBron finishing his career in Detroit? I mean, as much as it would be cool, I probably would say no, right? That's a pretty big contract for a guy who probably will only play like what, 40 games. Um Aaron said I'm very high on Corey. I think there's a chance he starts next to Kate eventually. I could see it, but in the same sense, I didn't. The only reason I didn't love the pick was because I didn't like the trade up for giving up 3 second round picks to trade up for him. Because I think there was so much talent in this draft that you didn't need to trade up. Now looking at the player himself, dude, the dude averaged like 23 a game in college. He's actually a really good defender. The dude's like Sasser but better. Like he's a better defender, better scorer, honestly. I think he's got potential to be like a six man of the year kind of guy. Like I always said that about Sasser too. And a potential starter, yeah, I could see it. I could see it maybe in like a couple years, but I don't mind it. I don't mind the pick now looking back, but um, he to me the player itself is where I'm like very happy about. I didn't love the fit though because I'm a very big Marcus Sasser guy, and we already have him, Karis LeVert, Dennis Jenkins, all coming off the bench, along with Javante Green. So I didn't. That's why I didn't love it. But honestly, if we're to get rid of Sasser and Karis, there you go. That's perfect. I love it. Um, what else we got in here? North End Six said I'll trade for Poole. Be interesting. Would you want him to start though? Because I don't know if I'd want him to start, but I think in Detroit he would probably play a little bit better. Um, Ethan said I love the Detroit Pistons pick. Yes, sir. Absolutely, man. Um, Absolutely. I like your freaking profile pick. The Pistons won again. That's sick. Jerry Miller said Corey is really going to ball, bro. I hope so. I really do. I hope we don't misuse. This is what I've been saying. Like when I tell you guys, I didn't love the a Corey pick. It's not because of the player, right? I love the player. I just do not want to waste his career like what we did with Sasser. Sasser to me had so much potential. He was a late first round pick. He was a little older, like 22ish when he came here, but like he has so much potential to be like a six man of the year kind of guy. Um, I really wanted to go get a guy that could fill in that shooting guard spot, or I wanted to get like a big, like a Terrace Reed or something like that. Um, but yeah, Troy said Corey was another wasted pick, 19-year-old development player. We need to win now. That's very true. We're wasting Kate's prime with that pick. Yeah, he's very young. I think he can give us valuable minutes. I just don't think that they're as valuable as what we could have gotten from some other players. I just think again, I think like what you said, like they're kind of looking at the future too much with him. I would rather just focus more on winning now as well. Um, and then Ethan said that that's crazy that New York play the money from the Pistons at pick 53. Yeah, the fact that we literally got pick 53 for literally just paying them a little bit of money was insane. That was awesome. Um, Aaron said, well, personally, I had a Corey and Sturts way ahead of everyone else. Sturts was my number one, was Bennett Sturts. It was like him, Cam Carr, um, who's the other? Obviously, I wanted like a Day Amara and Yaxel, but I knew that wasn't happening. But yeah, it was Bennett Sturts. I liked Jaden Quaintance as well from Kentucky. And there was one other guy that I was very high, excuse me, very high on. Oh, LeBron Fillin. I liked him too. Yeah, we can talk about Pistons draft real quick. Why not? Looks like people are kind of getting into it. But yeah, Aaron said, well, I personally, I had a Corey and Sturts way ahead of everyone else in the range, and those guys went back to back. So I think Langdon saw that. So yeah, I think what Langdon saw was like, all right, a Corey's probably gonna go probably top 15 to 17. So he saw him there at 17. He was like, all right, I'm gonna snag him. And it sounds like that's their guy, right? Like if that's their guy, I'll trust him, but we'll see. Jerry Miller also said the kid from Iowa, yeah, Bennett Sturts, was just drafted. We had to move up if he was our guy. Yeah, I really wanted Sturts. He would have been a great pick, but I think a Corey's got more potential and just could really be a really solid player for us. We'll see. Troy said we needed a power forward. Picking a Corey made no sense. I agree, but there was really, when you look at this draft, there was no good bit. Like Terrace Reed would have been a nice option, I guess, but there was no good bigs in this draft. Like at our spot, like there really wasn't many big. I mean, there was a couple, I guess. Let me know who you would have wanted, Troy. Let me know. Oh, you did say. I'll read that in a sec. But Aaron said I think a Corey's going to be a rotation guy pretty early on. People sleeping on him. I think only if we trade Sasser. Well, I mean, he'll probably play more than Sasser anyway. But yes, he'll rotate in. He will get minutes. He'll probably get like. I mean, as a rookie, I don't expect him to do too much. But then again, he will definitely get some rotation minutes in play. Um, yeah, I don't disagree with that at all. I could see a Corey having a bigger year than what people think. I hope that we don't. My biggest fear is we're gonna misuse him like we did Sasser. I have a feeling it's gonna happen. So we'll see. But I think he'll have a good impact on this team and be a nice guy to get some buckets off the bench. But it may be a future potential starter. We'll see. And then Troy said I would have traded Ron in our pick to get that number 10 pick and steal Yaxel. Absolutely. Yaxel would have been the perfect pick. Obviously, it sucks we couldn't get him. Same with the day Amara. Amara would have been a fine pick with me. Just to get that size in there, like that would have been awesome. But sucks that they both went like top 12. Um, Troy also said Ron and Corey, two developmental players who are hopeful fits in our roster. Trajan sucks at drafting. Yeah, I mean I love Ron, but like you said, like the fit really isn't there. We already have a Star Thompson, right? Now I still see a lot of potential in Ron to improve his shooting and become an elite role player. Because if he gets a shot, man, that dude is gonna be insane. Same with Asar, but yeah, I mean in a Corey, I think he will be a developmental guy, but in the same sense, I think he'll be able to get you buckets right away. Like he's a bucket. He is a walk-in bucket. So he will get us. He'll get some decent minutes and hopefully get us some points and he'll help space the floor with Cade as well. And then you said he's drafting like we're in rebuild mode. Yeah. When you're not in rebuild mode, like let's look at this real quick. So like you said, let's look at the Oklahoma City Thunder and the San Antonio Spurs draft. The Thunder went and they drafted Adea Mara, Bennett Sturts, and Otega Owe. Those are three guys that are going to give them valuable minutes this season. Like that is an insane draft for a team that literally won the finals last year and then was in the conference final game 7 this year. And then you look at the Spurs, a team that went to the finals. They went and they got Jaden Quaintance, who I really liked. He would have been nice if he stays healthy. Terrace Reed Jr., who will be an absolute dog down low next to Wemby. And then they also, what's their second round pick? They had a nice second round pick too. I forget who it was though, but two teams with really good drafts. Um, Jerry Miller said we also need ball handling and scoring. Corey checks both boxes. We do have. Don't forget we do have Dennis Jenkins though. I don't disagree that we do need an extra like ball handler on this team because when Cade comes out, and also you want another ball handler next to Cade, right? You don't just want because Cade is. It seems like he has the ball in his hands 99% of the time when he's on the court, right? And you don't really always want that. You want another guy that can take it and score. So I would say, that yes, I agree. I agree having an extra ball handler with him, Dennis, and then Cade as well. And then hopefully as Isaiah Joe can dribble, but he's not like a great passer or anything. But yeah, hell yeah. Um, Troy said Cam Carr and LeBron were both better size for the modern NBA. Would have rather had them. Those are my two top options. I had Cam Carr, LeBron, Philin, and Bennett Sturts. Those were like my top three that I was going back. Like those are the three guys I would have loved to have had. Good size, and good. I think they would have been a good fit. But I can't say I hate the Ibuka pick yet. I think we'll see how Summer League goes too. I'm excited for that. But I think Ibuka will hopefully prove himself and hopefully will get used right and get some good minutes. North End Sig said you put PJ up there. Are you talking about PJ Washington? Yeah, I'll probably make a couple. So I did three of these today. I'll do three more tomorrow for you guys because you guys seem to really like this conversation. Um, so we'll chat about the some more roster predictions maybe tomorrow, and maybe I'll throw some bench players in there too, so we can kind of talk about that. But yeah, um, and I'll probably put PJ in there. I'll probably put what's his name, Trey Murphy in there as well. And Ethan said I think Ugana Onyenso is the A minus. Yeah, I gave that pick an A minus as well. I gave the a Corey pick a B minus, mostly because of the trade up. I didn't love the trade up, but again, we probably if they really wanted him, they probably had to. He probably would have been gone by 19. But I didn't love giving up 3 seconds to move up 4 spots. But um, Troy said I'm not falling for Corey's tape. I don't think he will dominate the paint like that in the NBA. He's not the next Kyrie Irving. It's a good point. I kind of said that too. Like, will he translate into the NBA is the big question, right? And I think he'll still be a good scorer, but yeah, he's not going to be able to just drive in the paint, being 6 foot fucking one. But I still think like you look at Marcus Sasser, he can do it here and there too. But Tanaj said that Trajan Langdon should be fired immediately. He's a failure of a GM when it comes to player personnel. He didn't do anything during the trade deadline, which ended up costing us in the playoffs. I do agree with that last part. I wouldn't say he needs to get fired yet. I will give him another year or two to kind of prove that he can get this team back to being a top 3 seed, right? Because he got us to look, guys. Look. I'm not saying it was all Trajan Langdon, but like we were a 1 seed this year, and we were in the playoffs last year, something that our past GMs could not do, and we almost went to the conference finals this year. So personally, I think you got to cut Langdon a little bit of slack, but in the same sense, he needs to step it up because he, if he doesn't fix the roster this offseason in the next couple of weeks, we are going to have a rough season this year. Troy said, I agree, Tanaj. Trade deadline was horrible and drafts have been horrible. Only thing he's done good was take advantage of Troy Weaver's cap space and sign a few decent players. Yeah, I mean, all of our success has really been from Troy Weaver draft picks, right? Asar, Cade, Duran, your three guys right there. Now I will say this though about Trajan Langdon, the Isaiah Joe trade was phenomenal. I gave that an A plus. So I'm hoping he can impress me again. We'll see though. Aaron's with an update. Sources: Jalen Duran scheduled to meet with the Lakers again tomorrow. Strong signs they're willing to go big with a possible restricted free agency offer just now. Wow. Okay. Let me low key open up Instagram, see if I can find anything. I have not opened up Instagram in a while, so I might just be like missing some news. Dean Wade to the Sixers. Yep, talked about that. Interesting. Yeah, I think I'll have to look into that. Aaron's, but yeah, going to be interesting to see. I think what happens with Duran because if the Lakers are going to go big for him, he might be gone. Like he might be gone, and if that's the case, then we just got to do a sign and trade. But we'll see. It sounds like the Lakers really want Duran. Like they are like literally on their fucking hands and knees for him. Troy said, "Imagine if we took Buzelis over Ron. Yeah, that'd be a nice player to have. Buzelis is a really good player." North End Sig said, "How we gonna have a tough season? What did we really lose?" Well, North End Sig, what I'm looking at right now is the current roster. And so Tobias Harris sounds like he might not be re-signing. And, a lot of Jalen Duran stuff, we'll probably get him back. So look at the current roster, and it's a good roster, right? But the thing is you're not going to keep all these guys. Like Karis LeVert, Marcus Sasser, I think are gone. Kevin Herter deal was okay. I don't mind it if we actually play him. Tobias Harris is probably gone, and there's a rumor that we might trade Duncan Robinson. Now, if we were to keep everyone except for Tobias Harris, what I'm saying when I say we might have a tough season is that if we do not go replace Tobias Harris and get another backup power forward, and someone good, by the way, someone better than Tobias Harris, if we don't do that, then this year is not going to be as good as last year, I think. Because although if we keep the same roster, yeah, I mean, we could have another 50, 60 win season, but I'm saying it could be a tough year next year if we don't go get a nice Tobias replacement or another good shooting guard or something like that. So um, I don't know. I'm not saying it's going to be a bad year next year. I'm not saying that at all. All I'm saying is that if we do not upgrade at a couple positions, meaning I'm fine with the shooting guard position. If we keep Isaiah Joe and Duncan, I'm cool with that. But you need to go get another power forward, if probably two. And if we don't go get two good ones, then I'll be upset. Um, and we also did lose Beef Stew. I think was a huge part of this team. Great rim protector, solid scorer as well. So I didn't love that. So you lose him and Tobias, we need to replace both of them, and we need to maybe add like if we get rid of one of our like Karras, Sasser, Duncan, whatever, then you might need to add another shooter as well. So we'll see. Aaron said they can't outbid us. We will match with whatever. Yeah, but here's the question, Aaron. Do you want to pay Duren over 50 mil? Like, let's say the Lakers. I don't really know how much it can go up to, but like, if the Lakers are really going to pursue him, they might. But I agree. I think we'll match. But like, oh my God, I do not want to pay over 45 mil for him. I hope he resigns tomorrow because then we can match, and this whole thing is done quick. I think that's what will happen. I think we'll match tomorrow and probably get it all done. Hopefully. But if they have another meeting scheduled, it might not be till later this weekend. Jerry Miller said 14 wins, 44 wins, and 60 wins. With JB and Trajan has us trending up. Yeah, JB's been an absolute phenomenal coach, and Trajan's done a good enough job, I'd say, as well. Kali, what's good, man? Good to see you back in the chat. He said Tobias will be back. Yeah, I hope so, man. I hope Tobias is back, but I also do want to see us upgrade there as well. So maybe have him come off the bench, and then like what you just said, if Tobias leaves, we go full steam ahead at John Collins. Maybe you could get both. I don't know. I don't know. Or Roy Hachimura as well. Because I think Tobias Harris with his age wouldn't be terrible having him come off the bench. I wouldn't mind him starting again, but I would like to see maybe an upgrade down low because we need to get some more height down there. We need to get some more height, and we need to just get more players. So. Um, Jerry Miller said two, bro. Trying to figure out what that is talking about. Let me know what you mean by that, Jerry Miller. I'm not 100% sure. You said two. Troy said AJ Mitchell went one pick after we picked Bobby Clintman. Wow, I didn't know that. This bad drafting is holding us back, but we're not noticing because Kate's so good. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, Troy, let's cut him a little slack there because I mean, when you're looking at like the second round, it's hard to judge. Like, who would have known? Look at Nikola Jokic. He was the second round 15th pick. Like, who would have known that he was going to be as good as what he is, right? Like, it's hard to judge. But obviously, the best GMs make the best decisions. So I don't disagree with that part. But he has had a bit of a bad drafting streak. I'll give him that. But we'll see. Jerry Miller. Oh, two power forwards. Yeah, yeah. I've been saying we need two. We need two. We need to get a seven, maybe like a 6'10", 7-footer, and then maybe go get like another. Either keep Tobias and then go get someone else that can fill in that spot, or come off the bench, or go and get rid of Tobias and go sign two of them. Aaron said they can't pay him 50 mil. It would be 41 mil his first year. Okay, so let me know, Aaron. Let me know because I'm not the smartest when it comes to contracts. So it be is 41 mil a year the most he can make, or is it like could he get like what's like the most that they could give him? Like, do you know? Because I was gonna say I don't think they can give him 50 mil. I thought it was 45 mil max they could give him. So let me know. Um, but yeah, I mean either way, I mean if we have to pay Duran the max, we're gonna do it. Duran's gonna be here next year. So, but yeah, definitely agree. I think it all comes down to just matching the offer and just keeping him here. Aaron said, and yes, I would do it. Every new contract feels like an overpay until 2 to 4 years down the line. Yeah, well, guess what? That's how the NBA and professional sports is, right? Look at like Patrick Mahomes' contract with the Chiefs. Like a few years ago, it was the highest paid contract, and now all of a sudden he's like not even a top 10 paid quarterback. So damn, you're definitely right about that. Aaron also said if we traded Duran to LA for the 2 first round picks and took back nothing, I wonder if we could get Walker Kessler, something big enough to pry him from Utah. That would be pretty. Yeah, Walker Kessler was another guy I had. I was gonna throw him on here too for, um, if we were to do like a sign and trade or something like that. Because obviously I know I have Laurie on here, but like, dude, they have three bigs that I would love. I would love to have Jaren Jackson. I would love to have Jaren Jackson Jr., Laurie Markkinen, or Walker Kessler. Walker Kessler's a good, very good defender, amazing rebounder, pretty decent lob threat. Not a great scorer, but like he's got a couple post moves. So yeah, I wouldn't hate that. That'd be interesting though. And then Aaron also said 41 mil is the most anyone can pay him in year one. We are the only ones who can pay him 49 mil, but we won't do that. So basically, what we might do is we might just say, you know what, Darren, we're gonna sign you to a 1 year, $41 million deal, and we're gonna keep you on the roster this year, and then maybe depending on how well you do, we'll give you your 49 mil. Um, Maybe we'll give you your 49 mil for your future contract. So yeah. Troy said, I hear you, but you'd think he'd get lucky once. He's had a top 5 pick, and none of his picks so far have had contributions to us in the playoffs. That is very true. And Ron Holland was a guy I really want to see play more in the playoffs because I think he's better than what we use him for. I think he's getting pretty misused, but yeah, we really have yet to see a good Trajan Langdon pick that is an Asar Thompson, a Cade Cunningham, or and I get like, to be fair, like, I mean, Asar top 5 pick, Cade number 1 pick. Duran was like pick 12 or 13, but then again, he did have Ron Holland, but that draft class was really bad. Um, so who would you trade Duran for? I'm gonna throw some names in. North End Six said there's a couple names I would not want to trade for, but if we were like for sure trading them, there's a couple names I would want. Laurie Markkinen probably one of them. What's his name from the Kings? Demonis Sabonis would probably be my number one. Um, they say he wants to be a Celtic. Yeah, that's what I heard too. Is that he wants to go to the Celtics, which would be cool to get Jalen Brown and maybe like Neemias Queta would be kind of sick, but I doubt it. Aaron said that Kessler was reportedly getting offers in the mid to high 30s from other teams. I'm curious what Utah will match at. Um, Mid to high 30s. Yeah, that's a bit high for him. For I mean, I guess he's a good rebounder and defender, but for a guy who's not really the greatest scorer or shooter or passer, it'd be interesting. But I mean, Walker Kessler's a pretty damn good player. Kali said, "Yeah, I agree, Kali. We're not trading Duran. It's not happening, but I mean, there's that small chance that it will happen. I just do not think it will. Um, but we'll keep Duran more than likely. I think that's the strongest possibility. North End Six said he wanted. They said he wanted to be Celtic. I love him to death. Yeah, 100% agree. Uh, no doubt. Jerry Miller said Utah re-signed Nurkic. Nurkic another big. Yeah, they have so many bigs. It's insane. Like Jaron, um, Walker, Laurie, and now Nurkic as well. Yeah, that's ridiculous. Three-way trade: King, Celtic, Pistons. There you go. That's not terrible. So it would be we get JB and the 7 footer off the Kings. Wow, we would have to give up a lot for that. I guess I mean if you're getting rid of Duran for Duran for Sabonis would be probably like even like we actually might get something out of that, because Duran is definitely like right as of right now a step ahead of Sabonis because he was an All Star All NBA player this year. But to get Jalen Brown in there too, I mean if we were to get both of them, by the way, like holy shit, like I mean no doubt we're winning the finals this year. Um, but to get Jalen Brown, you'd still have to give up Duncan, Sasser, Karras, couple first round picks, maybe more. I mean, Jalen Brown was an MVP candidate this year. He's gonna cost you a lot. Um, Troy said the team that bounced us in the playoffs made an aggressive trade deadline move. Meanwhile, Trey John wanted to stay patient. We almost lost to an 8 seed. Trey John's not a good GM. yeah, I mean the fact that we struggled in 8 seed was pretty embarrassing. I'm glad we fucking won the series, but like, let's be honest, the only reason we really won it was probably because Franz Wagner got hurt. Um, but yeah, I mean, yeah, look at the. I remember when the Cavs made that James Harden move, and I was like, shit, there goes our playoff hopes. I mean, James Harden's not the greatest player, but was he better than what Darius Garland was? Yes. James Harden put up like what? He put up 30 on us in like game 4, I think. So, um, but yeah, who knows? Oh, North End Six that he's talking about. You're talking about Maxime Reynaud, maybe I think is what you're talking about. Yeah, him and Jalen Brown. Yeah, I could see that maybe. I could definitely see that. But I would rather have Sabonis, obviously, but he's a little more injury prone. So I don't know. Maxime and Jalen Brown would be pretty sick. Let me go back up. Aaron said Sabonis is negative value. He has horrible contract. It's not good. People think he's good from a few years ago. Yeah, that's true. I think the biggest thing with him is his injuries, and his contract is literally like what 49 mil. It's like I don't disagree, but again, if we were to do a sign and trade, I think he'd probably be our best option, in my opinion. And then or you could go get maybe Maxine and Keegan Murray or Jalen Brown if we do a three-way trade. Who knows? I honestly don't mind that North End sake though. I would if we were to get 77 off the Kings, which I believe is Maxine. Correct me if I'm wrong. And along with Jalen Brown, that would be probably a finals contending team. Um, Aaron also said people don't want to pay Darren 40 mil, but Sabonis makes 45, 48 the next 2 years. Yeah, so that's true. That's true. And Duran, I would say again, is probably equal, if not a little bit better than Sabonis. So better to just keep Duran, right? North End Seg, Brown or Levine or Sabonis. Yeah, yeah, those are three names I'd be interested in. It is okay. Yeah, Jalen Brown on the Pistons would be pretty crazy. Like to think about that. Like that's like equivalent to Tatum and honestly, no, I would put Kate above Jason Tatum. Um, yeah, I don't know. That'd be a pretty crazy lineup right there. And if you were able to add Maxime as well, that'd be crazy. Or Sabonis as well. Sabonis would be crazy. Um, we could have. Troy said we could have drafted Reynaud, but we drafted Chaz Lanier instead. Wow. And I like Chaz Lanier, but yeah, he's never gonna really play, right? He's got a lot of potential, but he's kind of just like a shooting, like he's just a shooter. That's all he is. That's crazy that we could have had Maxine, dude. That would have been a great pick. Kali said or marketing. Ah, yes, sir. You know what I'm saying, dude. That's my dream guy right there. Um, if I mean we could do a sign and trade with for Laurie and then go sign like a free agent center because I don't know if I'd want Laurie playing the five. You could put him there, but I mean if you had Laurie and like John Collins or Tobias Harris down low, I don't think it'd be terrible. But yeah, I would love to have Markin, man. That's my dream guy right there. We lost first round last year and won a series this year. Should have been in the conference finals. It's a process. You have to take your lumps before you win a chip. Jerry Miller, absolutely agree. We were one game away from the conference finals this year, and I keep saying this. What do you guys think about this? I think we would have gave the Knicks a run for their money. I'm not saying we would have beat them, but I mean the Cavs got fucking swept. The Knicks were just on a crazy run. I don't know what that was about, but I really think we could have gave the Knicks a run for their money and maybe made it to the finals. But we had beaten the Spurs. I mean, the Knicks beat them 4-1, so but I don't know. I really think we could have. I didn't see us win it all this year. I said going into the playoffs will probably be a second round exit to the Cavs, or I thought we might lose in the conference finals to like the Celtics, but they didn't even make it out of the first round. North and Sig, what if we got Norman Powell, and PJ Washington? Not terrible, not terrible. PJ Washington again, not a great contract that I would love to have, but he's still, not like overly expensive. And he's like a Tobias Harris level guy, right? Like he's like a Tobias Harris level guy, and I'd love to re-sign Tobias as well, and just have both of those guys. I would love that, and maybe you could have one of them go off the bench, and then get Norman Powell, who's an absolute fucking bucket. Not a great defender, but yeah. You could trade maybe Duncan and like Sasser, Levert maybe to get those two. I don't know. North End State. Yeah. You just said Duncan in the second round for Powell and Sasser and Karras for Washington. Perfect. That's literally exactly what I was thinking. That wouldn't be terrible. Honestly. So Duncan in second rounder for Powell and Sasser and Karras for Washington. Honestly, yeah, I don't hate it. If you were able to get, yeah, because I don't think the Miami Heat want to trade, or I don't think they want to re-sign Norman Powell because of how expensive he might be. But yeah, um, Jerry Miller said facts. I'm assuming you're probably agreeing to me saying that we could have given the Knicks run for their money. We really could have, man. We destroyed them all season. I think that the Knicks got hot in the playoffs, but I think we could have cooled them down. You know what I mean? We have too much grit for them. I think Troy said we would have battled the Knicks a lot better than the Cavs. Kate owns the Knicks. Absolutely, Kate owns the Knicks. Um, yeah, I think we could have given them a run for their money. I honestly think we could have beat them if we would have got the Knicks, which that's why I was praying that we could beat the Cavs because the Cavs were the one team. The Cavs were the one team I knew were going to stand in our way, and they did. And it took it to Game 7, but man, I was so sad we lost that series. 'Cause when I seen the Knicks were in the conference finals, I was like, dude, we can take them, man. I think we could have taken them and done it, but I think we could have beat them. Could have been champs. Yeah. Callie said if Duran had shown up, we could be champions right now. Absolutely. Yeah, Callie, you're right, man. I mean, Jalen Duran was an absolute no show in the playoffs, and it was so disappointing to see. But in the same sense, like I hope that he's out of his got his head out of his ass now and performs better. We'll see though. Jerry Miller said the Knicks were really scared of us. At least the fans were. Yeah, man. No, none of them. I remember after we lost to the Cavs, all the Knicks fans were. I remember going online, seeing all the Knicks fans talking shit. And I was like, "Fuck!" Pissed me off so bad. But because they all knew that we destroyed them all season. We were talking so much shit, and then we wanted a rematch with them so bad, and we just so one game away, man. So sad. I hope next year we get to destroy them in the playoffs and go win it all. But by the way, I am so pissed off that the Knicks won it all, man. I wanted the Spurs to win so bad. I hate the Knicks with everything in me. Um, what else we got? Yeah, they were definitely scared of us, and their fans were definitely scared of us too. Ethan, good to see you back. Yeah, that was a good series. Absolutely, it was. It would have been an insane series against the Knicks, but sadly enough, we won't be able to see that. So, but yeah, we got 40 people in here, guys. Appreciate y'all for watching. I'll go for another about 10 minutes or so, and then we'll probably get done. I've been going for almost 3 hours now. That's actually crazy. So I don't want to go too much longer because I do want to have something to talk about tomorrow. So go another 10 minutes. Make sure to hit that like button if you haven't already. And if you haven't, and you feel like it, hit that subscribe button, man. Appreciate y'all though. And I'll be going live again tomorrow night, 10 p.m. Um, I plan on that because I won't be able to go live for probably not Thursday night. Maybe if something happens, and I'll probably go live Sunday night maybe or Monday night again. It just depends. I'll be gone. I'll be gone most of this weekend. I'm going up north for Fourth of July, so I'll be gone Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So, but yeah, I'll be live tomorrow night though. I'm hoping we'll get some more news, and we'll do some more chats about some mock rosters and stuff too. So, but yeah, I'll be back tomorrow night at 10 p.m. But if y'all got anything else you want to put in the chat, anything else at all, hit me with it. Let me know what you guys are thinking. North End Six said I got a lot to talk about. I'll be back tomorrow. Appreciate it, man. Like I said, 10 p.m. Appreciate you in here, man. You had a lot of good chats, a lot of good trade options as well. But yeah, if y'all got anything else, let me know. Appreciate you guys for being in here. And like I said, tomorrow night, 10 p.m. We'll be doing this again, and we'll hopefully get some more news. So if you guys want to talk tomorrow, we will be back at 10 p.m. North End Six said tomorrow. Put Draymond Green, PJ Washington. Yep, I definitely will be putting. I'll probably be putting Trey Murphy as well. Um, I'll get a couple mock rosters tomorrow. I'll probably do another like 3 or 4 or 5. We'll see. But yeah. Aaron said Silver forced Luca to LA for basically nothing, and now he's trying to force to LA for yeah. Yep, probably trying to do the same thing with fucking Duran is what you're saying. Yeah, definitely agree. 'Cause the Lakers have to be good, right? But I think we'll keep him. I think we'll keep Duran. Ethan, appreciate you, bro. North End Sig, Bagley, Sabonis. Troy said Draymond intends to re-sign with Golden State. Yeah, I think he will. I could throw him in just for fun, and we could talk about it because I don't disagree. Sabonis, yeah, could happen. I still think we're keeping Duran, but depending on the news we get tomorrow, we'll see. Unless we re-sign Duran, yeah. If we re-sign Duran tomorrow, I won't have Sabonis. Um, but yeah, maybe I'll include him. We'll see what happens with the whole Lakers thing. Kali, great stream, bro. Let's run it back tomorrow. Oh, definitely, man. I hope to see you again tomorrow, man. You're number one chatter in here, man. I appreciate you for real. Um, appreciate you for all that you helped me out with and doing here, man. We'll give it another few minutes. If y'all got anything else you guys want to talk about, let me know. We still got 33 people in here, man. That was a crazy night, man. We had like 80 people in here at one point. Like, like dude, like so this is only my third stream, right? Um, this is only my third stream, and the first stream we got quite a few people. I think we got up to like 12 or 13 in here at one point, and then we went to last night, which is my second stream. We had like I think close to like 20 people in here, and then tonight we had like 80 people. Man, that was crazy. Um, so appreciate y'all for real. North End Sig said Reeves, and then Aaron said Reeves is not a sign and trade option. They already agreed to keep him. Yeah, no, that's I don't know. Reeves, I wanted Reeves. He was one of my top targets going into like the off season, but I think from kind of like what Aaron said, it sounds like we probably won't be able to get him. Troy, crazy numbers, bro. Congrats. Yeah, man. 80 people was crazy. We got 46 likes, and I think I got like over 20 subs too. That is insane. Like I am beyond happy and shocked about that, man. I appreciate y'all. Kali, Notice City Sportscast. Yes, sir. North End Sig, up. Troy said you actually interact with chat really well. Not all streamers do that. That's what I love to do, man. I appreciate that, Troy. My favorite thing is to like, obviously like I start off by kind of just running through a few topics, and then like what I like to do is I just like to go in the chat, talk to everyone, see what y'all are thinking, and absolutely like I appreciate y'all for being in here and shit, but I like hearing what you guys think too. Like I like to throw things out there, see what people think, and just hear like anything that you guys are thinking about too. That's like my favorite thing to do. 313 Thug Living, what's good, bro? Appreciate you for being in here. Reeves is defensive liability. Yeah, I mean he's a bucket, right? He's a bucket, but like we already have Duncan for that, so Reeves is gonna get paid a lot more than Duncan is. So yeah, I don't disagree. But Reeves can also pass pretty well too. He could like I don't know, but yeah, I probably won't. Reeves is a really good player, and I did want him going into the offseason, but at this point, I feel like that's kind of done for. So um, Troy said 1K subscribers very soon. That's dope. Yeah, man. Um I've been so I started this channel about 2 years ago, and I just uploaded like tons of videos. I got pretty popular. Hit like 900 subscribers, and then over the last like year and a half, I just kind of like got sick of like editing, posting, and so I kind of stopped and like took a break for a while. Now I'm starting back up because like obviously a lot of Detroit news going on. So I'm excited to be back. Then I plan on being back for a while, especially if we're getting this many people in here and all this that's been going on. So yeah, I'm excited, man. I hope to hit 1K and I can maybe get monetized too. That'd be awesome. So would love it. North End Six said I want Drew. Ooh, that'd be kind of sick. I'm guessing you're meaning you're talking about Drew Holiday, or Shaden Sharp as well. Shaden Sharp would be sick. Um, I don't know if it'll happen, but Shaden Sharp would be absolutely awesome. Um, I don't want re. Hold on, let me. Got a screenshot some. Make sure I'm remembering this for tomorrow. Oops, I accidentally moved Lori. Get back over there. There we go. Let's see what we got. Troy said, I don't want Reeves after he denied us drafting him. Wow. Yeah. And we were going to draft him. He didn't allow it. I didn't know that. That's what the hell? Yeah. Fuck him for that. Troy also said, I'd rather get Hero over Reeves. Hero wants to be a Piston. Dude, Hero would be sick. He was my, I think, number one option going into the offseason because I felt he was probably the most realistic. Because I thought we were going to be, I really thought we were going to be a part of that Giannis trade. I thought we were going to be like the third team in there and we would get Hero. We didn't. But yeah, I'm gonna mod a couple people real quick. I'm gonna mod you, Troy. You've been all over. North End Sig, I'm gonna mod you as well. So that way I can A, remember you guys, and B, just give you guys that privilege, because why not, right? All right. Got you guys modded now. Um, Might be a couple other people I gotta mod too, because they've been all over in this chat. So, um, let's see what we got. North End Six said, I'll go the 6'9" power forward from Toronto. Um, are you talking Scotty? Scotty Barnes? Um, Troy said, hell yeah, that economy rolling. Absolutely. Insane. North End Sig, we might get MPJ. I could see it. I wouldn't want to give up too much for MPJ because he isn't really the best defender, but MPJ would be sick to have, no lie. How tall, if anyone knows off the top of their head, how how tall is MPJ? Is he a shooting guard or is he like power forward? Let me know. 'Cause I thought he was a shooting guard. Like I thought he was only like 6'4", 6'5". So let me know if I'm wrong. Troy said North End, I think we can win a chip with MPJ. He would match the Knicks. That's why I really wanted to get MPJ at the trade deadline. I think if we would have traded for him, I know we would have to give up a lot, but I really think that what were we missing in these playoffs? We were missing shooting. We were missing shooting the whole playoffs, and MPJ would have given us that. So, and then North End Sig said Hero and Ware. Yes, man, make it happen. Ware would be sick to have too. A young center down low. Um, he also agrees with Troy, and then also said or Kyrie. Hey, I still agree with you on that, man. I would love to get Kyrie and like PJ Washington maybe. Um, 6'10". PJ, holy shit! Hold on, let me. Why did I think this dude was a shooting guard? He is 6'10". Holy fuck. Okay. Yeah, so I didn't know he was 6'10". Wow, I swear whenever I watch him play, I thought he was like 6'5". Like what? I feel like an idiot. Um that is crazy, 6'10". So he would be a perfect fit at that power forward spot. Wow. Yeah, no, I mean I wanted to trade for him at the deadline, but like I didn't know he was 6'10". That is insane. You said you'll play him at the two. Yeah, definitely. Troy said Ron Levert, Duncan, two first. I'd give up for MPJ. Ron Duncan, two first. Yeah, I think that's as far as I'd go. Ron Duncan, two first. I think that's as far as I'd go for sure. Yeah, definitely North Dunsig. I definitely agree. Troy, we waste all our picks anyways. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, no doubt, right? Like I've been saying I don't really think we need any more first round picks for a while with where our team's at. We have so many young guys and I think if we give up two or three, like it wouldn't be the end of the world. I'm not saying I want to give up all of our first round picks for the future because obviously you still want to get those young guys, but like all of our first round picks from here on out are just going to be getting further and further back, right? Like this year was 21, next year could be 25, and if we win the championship, it could be 29 or 30. So North and six, so we didn't all go second rounder. Yeah, I don't know. We will see, man. Oh, we are one like away from 50 likes, guys. If anyone else is in here, feels like hitting that like button, I would appreciate it. And obviously, hit that subscribe button if you're feeling like it too. If you want to see more, like I said, I'll be back tomorrow night, 10 p.m. Holy shit, it's already 1 a.m. I'll be back tomorrow night at 10 p.m. Talk some more about some NBA news. I do talk about NFL and stuff too, but obviously there's not much going on with the NFL, so I'm not really talking about that. Obviously, there's been so much NBA stuff, but but yeah, if anyone's in here, you guys want to see more of this tomorrow night, I'll be back at 10 p.m. So plan on that. Um, Kali said, "Have a great night, bro. We'll see you tomorrow." Hey, peace, Kali. If you're headed out, I appreciate you. Obviously, you are the OG, man. I appreciate you. Um, before I do go, I will answer the rest of these. I'm a minute over. Yeah, it's okay. You guys are too awesome. I can't leave. Like I've been going for 3 hours. Like that is. I feel like that's not healthy. And we hit 50 likes. Thank you guys so much. It's okay though. I'll go a couple extra minutes. I'll go. I don't know. I'll finish answering some of this stuff and then we'll obviously we will be picking back up tomorrow. So I want to see all y'all back in here tomorrow night. Um, Ethan, I'm gonna. Oh yeah, I gotta mod Ethan and Marcus too. You guys are always in here. Um, you said Jalen Brown or MPJ. Yeah, for sure. Jalen Brown again would be sick next to Kate Cunningham, and then MPJ. Now that I know he's 6'10" and not 6'5", yeah, that would be awesome, man. I could really see it too. Then I think the Nets might want to get rid of that contract. So, and same with the Celtics. Peace, Kali, man. You have a great night. Like I said, Ethan. What about the Detroit Tigers? Yeah, I can talk about them because they're in season right now, and obviously, I'm not. I wouldn't say I'm the biggest ball knower when it comes to baseball. So like, I can stick to Detroit Tigers mostly, but like, um, yeah, I would be glad to talk about the Tigers for a little bit if you wanted me to. Let me go ahead, and mod you. There we go. Let me get Marcus. Let me get Marcus too. You've been in the last couple streams. Um, absolutely. Uh, Marcus said keep Duran and sign Rui and a veteran point guard. That would put us in the finals. I agree. I think Roy would be a really good fit too. So I would like to re-sign Tobias Harris as well, and maybe start Roy, have Tobias off the bench. But yeah, I don't know. I like that. Um, Let me know if you guys are Lions fans too, because I do a lot of Lions talk on here. Like most of my YouTube videos are about the Lions, but obviously there hasn't. I talked a little bit about them yesterday, but there just hasn't been much news coming out. So other than like the Terry and Arnold shit, which I talked about yesterday, but so if you want to see me talk about that, then check out yesterday's stream. North End Six. I'm saying that because we giving up first rounders. So which one? If I were to take either one, I'm probably gonna take MPJ. I think Jalen Brown would be sick, but again, I think I honestly would rather just have the 6'10" shooter because I think he'd fit us a little bit better. So I'd take MPJ, and also just because I do, uh, I think he'd probably cost a little bit less. So Kali said, "Can't stop, won't stop." Love you, Kali, man. You're the goat. North End Six said, I already answered that. Sorry. Troy said, Tiger's still in it, but people say we need to trade everyone. Yeah, they are still in it, and it's crazy because a few weeks ago it felt like the season was over, and then Tarek Scooble's back, and obviously like the hitting, like we have been our bullpen has been so much better over the last couple weeks. Like we are actually hitting the ball, like it's crazy, like compared to last year. Um, so we'll see for the Tigers, man. If we'll see if they can keep like stay in it. Kali said, only thing is MPJ plays very little defense and never passes the ball. Yeah. Well, don't they call him like Michael the it's Michael the possession stops here Porter Jr. I think that's what they call him, isn't it? So it's like he's gonna take shots away from K, but again, if he can put up 24 a night, I don't mind it. I don't mind it at all. Um, and Troy said Kali MPJ is a catch and shoot player. He'd be a perfect fit with Cade. Yeah. Obviously, I don't want a player that's just gonna jack up shots. And if he's like 0 for 10 from three, then it's like like fuck off. But like, I think in terms of fit and like what we need, I think that MPJ fits that exactly what we need. So, and then Kali said, "I get it, but good offense will always swing the ball until you get the best look for sure." Um, Yeah, I agree because you don't want just one player taking all the shots. That's what the shitty teams like the Nets do, right? That's why he's on the Nets. So if he comes here, he's gonna have to learn like he can't just take bad shots. He needs to play winning basketball. North End Six said, I think gonna sign and get a trade or two later on today. Um, oh, you're talking about for like the NBA? Yeah, I'm hoping with free agency starting up, I'm hoping we see some big news coming out, just NBA related, and then obviously for the Detroit Pistons, hopefully we get some Duran updates, and maybe we get a signing or a trade or something. So, but yeah. But all right. Hey, if anyone's got any last words for the chat, I'm about to end stream here in a moment. So throw anything else in there if you want. Otherwise, I'm going to head out for the night. I'll be back, like I said, in 21 hours, 10 p.m. If y'all want to see me, 10 p.m. tomorrow night. Um, but yeah, been on here for 3 hours. So if y'all want to go back and rewatch, if you missed anything, we had a lot of good conversations tonight, and we talked about a lot of really good topics. LeBron, um, Anthony Davis, the Kawhi trade, and then just a lot of Pistons related stuff with Duran, Tobias Harris, Duncan Robinson. North End Sig said, I think Duncan, Sasser, Karras, Ron, Lanier. Yeah, those are probably your five. I would say for sure Sasser and Karras are your two biggest trade guys, like biggest trade baits. Ron is in there too. Lanier, yep, and then Duncan as well. Kali said 50 likes, 30 subs. Gotta love it. Yes, man. What a night. What a night, Kali. I appreciate you in here helping out, man. Troy said, good stream, bro. Hopefully some good Pistons news to talk about tomorrow. See ya. Hey, appreciate you, Troy, man. You were great tonight as well. We will be talking a lot tomorrow, and we'll get some more mock rosters going in here too, because that was fun. So absolutely, man. Appreciate both of you guys. You guys have a great night. I'll see you tomorrow night. Them five on the move. Yeah, I agree, North End Sig. I think that at least 2 or 3 of them are going to be gone. So absolutely. But yeah, I think that's going to do it for me. Appreciate everyone in here tonight. What a stream. That was an amazing stream. We had like 80 viewers at one point in here. I don't even know how many views we got on this thing. Let me see if I can. Yeah, 814 views. Absolutely insane. Peace, Kali. Like I said, have a great night. Troy, have an amazing night. North End Sig, appreciate you being in here as well. A lot of good topics that we talked about. Ethan, Marcus, appreciate y'all. Y'all been in here for a long time, man. That was a fun stream. And everyone else in here, before I go, once more, if you could, please hit that like button. If not, you don't have to, but also I'd appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button as well, man. We are on our way to 1,000 subscribers. W stream, appreciate you, North End. Man, that was a fun stream, wasn't it? So, hey, y'all have a great night. Ethan said, thanks for the talk. See you tomorrow. Yes, sir, Ethan. I'll see you tomorrow, man. Thank you for all the great things you brought up as well. Y'all are the best, man. I really do. That was so fun. I'm glad that we got to do this and have some good talks. So, but like I said, I think that's gonna do it for me. Like I said, if you missed anything, you want to go back and rewatch, feel free. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe as well if you feel like it. And I will see y'all tomorrow night, 10 p.m. Y'all have a great night, and peace.